Oh, I am? Oh,
No.
let's try this again.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, very good. Yeah, because how would you have known that I just addressed you? It's early, even for me.
Since you guys are going to Zoom so often, I was just trying to go for a common Zoom thing that callers can do today. So.
I love it. All right, do you know what the more common term for amblyopia is?
Yeah, I have one. I couldn't motivate it for a while, but it's lazy eye.
Lazy eye, yeah. I do see, your right eye is a little bit off to the side a tad bit.
Yep. Now the Delaware Valley knows.
All right, my man. Well, hang on. We're going to get some information from you, and we are going to set you up, bud. You got a 4-pack of tickets to Driven to Serve Muscle Car, Jeep, and Truck Show. Have you noticed something that with these Zoom interactions that we have with people, they're a little more clever than they normally are. And I love that about them. So hang on, Patrick. We're going to set you up. And don't forget that it's happening on Saturday. Over 1,000 modded vehicles, jet cars, monster truck car crush, track racing, raffles, and more. And it's all for a great cause benefiting the Travis Manion Foundation. Tickets start at just $10, and you can learn more at driventoserve.com. So we'll start with a little rumor story. Kevin Costner was spotted with a mystery woman this week, and that set the internet on fire with rumors spreading quickly as people wondered who the woman was. Turns out
that's a mystery.
Not a mystery. Sources tell Page Six that she was, in fact, his assistant. She's been his assistant for 2 years.
The word is he's linked up with Jewel.
I remember hearing that a little while back.
Yeah.
They were photographed after having lunch, the assistant, with sources confirming that it was just a work lunch. So everybody's keeping an eye on him because obviously he's, separated from his wife and everything, and they finalized their divorce in February.
Eligible.
So yeah,
Bachelor, right?
He's eligible.
Yeah. And wasn't it? It was J-Lo for a little while.
That was a rumor. Yeah.
Was that a rumor going on? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of rumors, Barack and Michelle Obama proved the haters wrong, stepping out for a rare date night in Washington.
They had full intercourse in view of the paparazzi, just to drive home the point.
It was after weeks of divorce rumors. The couple
get on the ground.
Was seen having sex at Osteria Moza. No, they were seen leaving Osteria Moza,
gotcha.
where they dined privately before waving to applauding guests and chatting with restaurant staff. It was their first public appearance together since December of last year, and they looked relaxed and united. So Michelle had already addressed the gossip on the Work in Progress podcast. We spoke about that yesterday. She even flashed her wedding ring at a recent outing in L.A. to drive the point home. So they're doing just fine, according to them. And speaking of doing just fine, Tiger King star Joe Exotic announced on social that he is married once again.
I love it.
Yep, he is.
He finally found love.
He is serving a 21-year sentence for an alleged murder for hire plot involving rival Carol Baskin, of course.
Can we get that song?
And he hasn't slowed down at all his romantic life. He posted a photoshopped wedding pic of the happy couple.
Ridiculous.
It's so stupid. I mean, they're not in prison. They're posing together at a
Killed her husband, whacked her.
Flower-filled ceremony.
That it didn't happen. Fed them to tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carol Baskin.
Yep.
I followed one of his husbands or boyfriends or who I'm not sure, but he was like this young, good-looking guy down in Florida while Joe is in prison, and he, like, some of the videos, he was always like, in water somewhere, so he's like splashing around. He's got ripped abs with all of his friends. I'm like, and we're still talking about you're dating this guy in prison. I was like,
I think that guy might have just been out for the money, Kathy. That's my take on it.
I mean, Joe Exotic.
What money, though?
He's so gross.
Exactly.
This guy.
I know.
It's
You know
so
what I mean?
gross.
Like he's just a gross.
He had 15 minutes of fame, and that will draw people in like magnets, a specific kind of person. And so he's got. My question is, I thought he was stage 4 cancer or something.
Yeah,
His physical outlook was not good.
He might still be sick. I'm not really sure, but he had posted Never been more proud of someone. Meet my husband, Jorge Flores Maldonado, which is, his last name. And he announced the couple's engagement last October, though. He's been married 5 times before. I did not know he had announced the engagement back in October, so they tied the knot.
Oh, that's great. You're making an honest man of him.
Ben Affleck may be a wealthy A-lister, but he grew up an average kid, and his kids are doing the same. On the Today with Jenna and Friends show yesterday, the actor explained that the two of his teens have jobs that many teens would be familiar with. Guest host Andy Cohen asked if Ben's kids had jobs, and he said, yeah, my oldest two have jobs. He said, in fact, one just got a job, the kind of a classic teenager working a shop job. I won't say what it is. He said, my older one is in college and is working to try to get an internship for the summer. And he also added that his 13-year-old, which is one who I told you about a little while back who wanted the $6,000 sneakers,
Oh, yeah.
is learning that life and dad doesn't just give you everything. So when the boy was admiring that pricey pair of sneakers, Ben had told him, these sneakers are $6,000. What are you talking about? What are you going to do? Mow lawns? You got $6,000? And his son said, I was like, well, we have the money. And I was like, no, I have the money. You're broke.
Because Shaq said the same thing about his kids. He goes, you're not rich. I'm rich.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. So John Mulaney isn't going to announce his new stand-up tour in the same boring statement. The comedian revealed his upcoming John Mulaney Mystery Whatever tour in a video clip on his socials, and it had him in the backseat of a car with two apparent kidnappers. They're wearing like masks and hoods and stuff. So you hear him, and he's got his eyes, he's got a blindfold on him. He says, hey, it's me, John Mulaney. I've got great news. I'm on tour. My new tour, Mr. Whatever, is coming to a city near you. Pre-sale starts April 23rd with the pre-sale code Mr., and you can get tickets at johnmulaney.com as well. Hope to see you at a show. The tour, by the way, is going to include some big guest star names like Jon Stewart, Pete Davidson, Martin Short, Fred Armisen, Mike Birbiglia, and Nick Kroll.
It's a nice lineup.
There is a Philly date. He's going to be at the Met on September 18th, by the way.
I'll be there.
Yeah, you'll be at that?
Oh, yeah.
I saw him at I forgot what theater he played last in Philly.
Was it the Met?
No, it was in Center City.
Oh, was
it? It was
it?
on the Avenue of the Arts.
Miller Theater, probably?
They might have been the Miller Theater, yeah. Great show.
He's
Excellent.
terrific. And his wife, Olivia Munn, is on the show Your Friends and Neighbors, John Hamm show on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Good.
You've got to watch it, Preston.
Okay.
Yeah.
John Cena coming clean about a recent procedure he went through. Brought about by some trolling fans. Do we have this clip, Marissa, of John Cena?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He admitted that fans are dragging him because he was balding, and it led him to get a hair transplant. And he said, there's another headline for you, hair transplant. There's no shame in that, man. I got a problem. I tried to fix it. I'm working on it. I saw so many bald spot signs. And then he sarcastically thanked fans for pointing it out to him.
Thank you for being so aware of my needs and emotions, because you guys ripped me to shreds for a genetic problem that I can't control.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Hey, dude, you don't look good enough out there. Like, that's what I'm saying. This isn't cool. You guys aren't cool to me.
You don't look good enough out there. He's right, though.
Yeah. So at my daughter's graduation last year, we were sitting there, and they have a giant screen on the stage, and you could see the crowd on the screen.
Oh, no.
And I picked myself out. I'm like, oh my
no.
God. I go, oh no.
Oh, your hair?
And yeah, you can see the bald spot in the back of my head. And then you just see my hand go up and touch my bald spot.
On video?
On video.
You're watching your own hand?
Listen, I'm watching my own hand. Now, there are, hundreds of people that are on the screen at this point, but I see my hand. And wouldn't you know it, the second I do that, my daughter's friend's mom sees it, and she goes, after the ceremony, she goes, I saw you checking out your bald spot. I was like,
Not cool.
yeah. Listen, there's a lot of things you got to come to grips with in terms,
I haven't noticed if it's.
I wear a hat all the time.
Okay, all right,
No. I just have it's just that little spot back there, like the fryer or whatever. Is that what they call that? Yeah. So I'm just channeling my inner St. Francis of Assisi.
Years ago, I experienced my brother realizing that that's where he was losing hair. He was at my house, and right at my entryway, I have a mirror, and then there's a mirror in the office that's right across from it. So it was like a double. And so he quick looked, and I saw him, and he was like, he stopped, and same thing. His hand went up, and he calls me over. He goes, look at the back of my head. Wait, am I thinning? Is my hair thinning? And sure enough, he was. And I was like, this is the moment. I'm like, yes, are.
Dude. So I started to turn salt and pepper in like junior high,
Early.
And I started to thin out fairly early. And I remember, Preston, I bought a bald cap from the novelty.
See what it would look like?
I said, "What am I going to look like?" And I'm like, and I honestly, I put it on, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I can work with this.
Yeah, but I was like, it was almost like checking a pregnancy test when I took this novelty bald cap out of a bag and put it on like, oh my God, I'm pregnant.
I should do that because I've thought about at least taking my hair down really tight just to see what that would look like, but I'm afraid to do it. I'm not afraid of losing hair. I just think I'll have a bad haircut for a while.
Yeah.
This is what you do it. Right before you go on like a summer vacation or something like that, where you could just wear a hat anyway.
Or pop on the ball cap. That was my litmus
I like the
test,
bald cap. All right, I have another clip. So yesterday we played audio from these twins in Australia that there was a carjacking incident, and they were recounting the story of it. It was hilarious. We played it towards the end of the show. Can I play the original case?
Yeah,
I'll play some of it. They're giving an interview. They're both dressed exactly the same, and they're talking at the same time for the interview. We were cracking up about this yesterday, but I have a follow-up to it that I'm going to play after this. But this was the original clip.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun." and our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?"
All right, so Jimmy Kimmel had them on yesterday.
Oh, my God, get out.
And he had an interview with them, and the same thing.
They're the real. They're the real deal.
Listen to this. He asked them about their lives and what their days are like.
Okay, we get up, have breakfast, get dressed, and we go over to our centre, and we do the rounds by checking every bird to see if they're okay. And then we get stuck into cleaning, and it's not a princess's job first thing of the morning.
I'm losing my mind right now. I got to tell you.
I love these two.
What?
That is so great, man. So I hope maybe we'll see more of them. I think they could pop up in a cameo in a movie.
Oh, you better believe it.
Doing some kind of an on-street interview. So we'll see about that. Let's see. I have a couple other things I want to mention before we wrap here. Oh, I thought this was kind of interesting. You might feel like a kid again because Toys R Us is getting the live action treatment with a movie based on the iconic toy store. The film, still in early development, promises to blend nostalgia with a fresh, high-energy adventure. And according to the studio, Toys R Us Studios president, Kim Miller-Olko, they said it will be a journey as boundless as play itself. Think Night at the Museum meets Jumanji with a dash of Barbie as the inspiration for the flick.
Absolutely. So Toys R Us holds a very important place in my life, and even in my adult life. When we were at Y100 in media, there was that Toys R Us up the road, and I told you what I do. I go in. I'm looking for this thing for my son.
Yeah.
Little Steven is looking for this. It's a replica of the Enterprise, I guess, or something.
I just laugh at this because I'm watching the show The Studio with it's Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And this
great
just
show.
reeks of like, and it's actually pretty funny, kinetic show, but the studio on the heels of the success of Barbie, they're like, oh, we need to do something, let's make a Kool-Aid movie.
Right.
And honestly, like
They try to get Martin Scorsese to direct this Kool-Aid movie. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Is the studio good? I started
It's
it.
good. It is. It's different. And Casey's right. It's very kinetic. It's very take the most intense scene from the bear in the kitchen, and that's kind of the way it all runs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that makes sense for the music, because I told you Antonio Sanchez, the drummer that we had here that I jammed with in the studio, he is the guy who is doing the score for that, and it's
perfect.
Drums, kinetic.
Perfect.
It's, a lot of fiasco happening. So, all right, this I was happy to see. And Steve, I think you watched this series. Enola Holmes 3 is officially greenlit at Netflix.
So this is great. I loved Henry Cavill in it. I loved her. She was great. She's so charismatic. It's a legitimate Sherlock Holmesian approach.
Yep.
And it's delightful.
So Millie Bobby Brown.
Loved it.
Millie Bobby Brown returns as the titular character, and she'll be joined by Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes.
What did you just say?
Titular.
Okay.
And Helena Bonham Carter will be Eudora Holmes.
Nice.
And she's at the end of, I think, the second, or I think she's in the second one.
Who's playing Larry Holmes?
I don't think we have a Larry
Who's
Holmes.
playing Excuse Me, Holmes?
And
What it is, Holmes?
Sharon Duncan Brewster as Moriarty, by the way.
Hey, excuse me, Holmes.
Among others. The third entry in the franchise sees Enola travel to Malta, where personal and professional dreams collide in a particularly tangled case. Netflix isn't giving away too much for now, teasing viewers that will just have to wait and see what brings her to Malta in the early days here. It is in the early days of development.
We're back from vacation. We're still getting up and running.
So the release date hasn't been confirmed yet either.
So she's got Stranger Things. She's got that series. She's got a whole bunch of things that she's working on. Yeah. And did you see her compound? She's a big animal advocate. She's got.
I read about what all she has. She has like hundreds of
30
animals.
rescued dogs. Yeah.
Okay. She got like alpacas and stuff like that?
She rescues animals.
Hey, speaking of alpacas, real quick side question. Is it better to own an alpaca or a llama? Which ones? The llamas will spit
Well,
at
you're
you,
asking
right?
the right people.
Yeah.
This is not a dad joke?
This is not. No, my
For sure.
brother-in-law was talking about getting a llama, and I was like, I think he wants an alpaca. I think llamas spit at you.
I'll tell you, alpacas routinely, when people are talking about this kind of animal, Phil Dunphy on Modern Family got an alpaca. If that gives you any insight.
Case, I think they both do the spitting thing.
Oh, they do?
I think so, yeah. Kathy?
So alpacas are a little bit smaller than llamas, but it says llamas have more independent and assertive nature.
Okay. Alpacas swallow, llamas spit.
Here we go.
They can be more outgoing and curious than alpacas.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
Yeah, we are.
So here,
Thank you, guys.
just to pacify you for a moment. It depends on your needs and preferences, Casey.
Okay.
Alpacas are known for their soft, luxurious fibers, smaller size, and generally more gentle temperament, while llamas are larger, more independent, and can be excellent guard animals.
Oh,
Preston.
Protective.
Preston,
So instead of a dog, you get
Just give him that bell to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my guard alpaca. This is my guard llama. Thank you.
There you go.
Hey, Bell.
That'll keep him busy.
All right. Entertainment news?
Yeah. All right.
That was entertaining.
That was. So the campy horror franchise Tremors may be coming back.
Love it.
Stampede Entertainment, the creative team behind the original Tremors, say that they've reclaimed the rights to the movie from Universal and are planning to expand the franchise. They said in a blog post, we are discussing a Return to Perfection sequel that references the small desert town in Nevada where the original film takes place.
Do you know why that entire series, even though the budgets were dwindling after it, and there were 4 or 5 movies into it, 6 movies maybe even, but Michael Gross is the continuing thread line throughout all of the movies, and he's wonderful.
They said, and 1 or 2 more outlandish ideas featuring graboids in new settings. They added that the next film will not be a remake of the first movie with a new cast. Tremors, it came out in 1990, starred the late Fred Ward, Kevin Bacon, Reba McEntire, Michael Gross, like you said, and spawned 5 sequels as well as a short-lived TV series.
So one time I was at a convention press. This happened to me twice when I was at like a horror convention or something, and I got handed free screening passes that afternoon.
Yeah.
Once it was The Lost Boys, like for a sneak preview, a test audience, and the second time was for Tremors.
And you liked both?
I loved them both, yeah.
All right, 2 more quick stories. I know we're already running over on time, but both actors have musical, as in movie genre experience. Now comes word that a new film starring Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson will bring the two back to a music-based movie. Song Sung Blue is based on a true story film and will star the two as down on the luck performers who form a Neil Diamond tribute band.
I love it.
And it's also got a lot of big names. Michael Imperioli, Fisher Stevens, Jim Belushi, Ella Anderson, King Princess, Mustafa Shakir, and Hudson Hilbert Hensley. Hudson and Jackman announced the film in their socials yesterday, and it's going to be out in around Christmas time.
Did you say King Princess?
King Princess, yes.
That's a person?
That is a person.
That's an interesting name.
And then one last story. Disney Plus has revealed the cast for its upcoming Holes TV series. And Greg Kinnear is going to be starring in it. Along with Adie Bryant and Shea Rudolph. And the Kinnear will be playing the warden in the reimagined version of the popular book, while Brandt will play Sissy, who is, quote, overflowing with camp counselor energy, according to her character description. But she'll still be on the warden side at the end of the day. And Holes follows Rudolph's character, Haley, who has to tough it out at Camp Yucca, digging holes after she was wrongly accused.
So when the movie came out years ago, and I was unaware that this was like a big tween fiction book, that was popular. And Shia LaBeouf, I think, was in it, right?
He was, yeah.
And I watched it. And I was like, this is a lot darker than I thought. A little heavier.
All right, we got clips?
Yeah.
All right.
Mystery clips?
I don't see anything, so these are mystery clips.
Yeah. Do you want to start with the easy one or the hard one?
Hard one.
All
Okay,
right,
Steve
we're going to
says
start
hard.
with the hard one.
All right,
here.
if you know or think you know who this is, raise your hand and you get to take a shot at it. Here's our first mystery clip.
I think along the way, we were always, hoping that it would come out sooner. And now I think the fact that it's coming out at the 5-year anniversary of the pandemic.
Yeah, and we're really excited about it. We're so grateful for PBS coming on board. It's been, like she said, it's been a long journey.
All right, Nick had his hand up.
I thought it was Isabella Merced for Last of Us, but I was wrong once she said PBS. Yeah.
These are people I've never heard of.
Okay.
Marissa might have.
Adam and Jay Fenderson.
No.
So, Marissa?
Yes, this was just sitting on the printer. So let me read it for you guys.
Okay.
The Class is a new docuseries that follows a college advisor connecting with students in a post-COVID world. That was the producers, Adam and Jane, talking about their excitement for the
producers.
release.
How the hell are we going to know them?
Okay. All right, next mystery clip. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Okay, you do it. Okay.
All right, now.
I was literally the last person hired when I was driving on the 405, and he described the show. And from that moment to today, sitting here with you, I have not stopped thinking about Survivor. I told all my friends, this is my show. This is what I've been waiting for. It's not just a game show. It's not the dating show. It's this thing. It's about us.
All right, Steve, who is it?
Jeff Probst?
Yes.
I saw a clip of the Goo Goo Dolls performing. This has got to be.
Yep.
Did you see?
They were
it?
doing Name.
And Jeff Probst is like this, like teen, he has super young, like he's the MTV VJ of the show.
Oh, okay.
Jeff Probst. It's like blew my mind. Yeah.
Marissa?
New Survivor airs tonight on CBS.
All right.
Yeah, look, Preston, it's up on the screen there.
Yeah. That was back in the day.
Back in the day.
All right, that's the entertainment report. We need to take a break. We got stuff to stay on time for. We're going to check in with our friends at Fox Good Day in a little while. We also have your first shot at winning $1,000. It is with Preston and Steve 20 money keyword, and we'll get that right at about 8 o'clock. So stay with us. Sun's coming up. It's way up. It's a beautiful day. We'll be right back with you. Stay put.
Preston and Steve.
Hi, Clayton. Good morning.
Good morning, you guys rock.
Thank you, Clayton. All right, what's your regular and how long's it been going on?
Well, it's been going on since I was in the 10th grade, and I've been eating peanut butter and jelly, of course, and it's been on potato bread, and it's been Concord grape jelly, and it's been Skippy peanut butter. And the funniest thing about it is that since I started working in the industry of trees, everybody I know that's a big kid eats peanut butter and jelly.
Really?
That's it. I mean, every single person I've met and run into in the industry eats peanut butter and jelly.
So now are we talking the 3 squares a day, or how many meals are peanut butter and jelly based?
Eating personally, breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner if we make it home by 9 o'clock if we're lucky.
These guys, how many people in your crew, Clayton?
We got 5 guys in the crew. So
wow, man.
Yeah, but it's pretty funny. We all,
you should contact Skippy and let them know your story.
I want to see a picture on social media of all 5 of you guys eating your peanut butter jelly sandwiches at the same time, and then just tag us on that.
We'll tag you. We'll get Jason up in the tree holding the peanut butter.
Do you think there's
Thanks, Clayton.
In the realm of comfort sandwiches, is there really peanut butter and jelly is such a basic.
Yeah, there's something really good about it. You know,
I
I had grilled cheese for dinner last night, but that's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's a different thing. You got to. It's more preparation.
It's too much work.
It's more of a meal.
Yeah.
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is just something really great about it.
Yeah.
God, I love peanut butter, and it's the one thing that still tastes weird to me.
Oh,
after COVID.
After COVID,
Yeah.
really? What is it? What do
I
you
don't
get?
know. It's not. It's just not the same. It's not. I don't know what it is. I can taste it, but it's like it almost doesn't taste like great. So what's the point, you know?
Yeah.
Destroyed your peanut butter receptor.
It's weird. And you know what? It happened to one of my friends, too. She said the same thing about peanut butter. Sorry, I'm digressing.
No, it's all right. I'll continue down peanut butter lane here for a moment. Nick, I finally went to the Cape May peanut butter company.
Yeah.
And, yep. And,
Casey's been, yeah.
And I brought back the honey peanut butter.
Oh, my God.
It's yeah.
I want to live on peanut butter lane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel bad eating.
Yes, you should. You should feel bad.
I do.
We need to take a sojourn to peanut butter lane.
It's so good. And
Get in the wagon.
I haven't tried their other ones yet. So
Have you tried it on like toast? Warm it up a
Yeah.
little
Oh,
bit?
yeah. That's the only way I have it.
The butterscotch peanut butter is.
He's not an animal.
Butterscotch peanut butter?
Yeah. I feel like I brought it in for you.
I'm going to shoot.
That sounds pretty good. Okay, you're going to shoot. No, we don't want that, Gandalf. All right, let me go to, I have Austin next. Hey, Austin, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Can't
Hey.
believe we made it on. Hi, Mom. Let's see here. So for about 10 years since school, since college, I would have a bagel and cream cheese every single morning before class, and that has continued for about 10 years now.
In the working world.
In the working world now, yep. I make a bagel and cream cheese every morning before work. I eat it at work.
It's a standard. It's a standard one, and it's a standard for a lot of people. That's why you'll go into places and they'll have pre-cream cheesed bagels at the ready because it's such a standard.
And here's the thing I want to point out, Austin, is it's still just as satisfying to have that today as it was back.
Toasting it, nice warm bagel with some soft cream cheese is the best thing ever.
All right.
You know what? There is, and
right.
we've talked about how deeply mired in ritual you and I are, and if there's a deviation, it'll throw us off. And I think that becomes a thing with your eating patterns. You know,
Sure.
It's like, well, this is not. I can't have this on. It has to be a bagel.
Yeah, for a long time there. I mean, well, Manja's not here anymore, but I would get an everything bagel toasted and buttered. And that's what I had every single day.
I wonder why I'm okay having the same breakfast every day. And a lot of times the same lunch, but dinner, no.
No, you got to change it up,
I got to
right?
change it.
Yeah.
You know, it can't be. It's a whole different animal.
And with the leftovers, I can only do like one day after. After that, it's like, it's too much.
Yeah.
I can't go back to it.
Kathy, it was excruciating. One time I went to what is the family style Italian
Buca di Beppo?
Buca di Beppo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't realize I had ordered family style for myself.
Like 19
and
days
I ate
worth
the
of-
same thing for like 8 days in a row. And it does become like annoying. It's so annoying quickly.
But you know what, like, Press, with that whole breakfast and lunch thing, it's kind of like what my teacher face was saying. Like, I kind of, at this point, I like kind of like eating the same thing for breakfast and lunchish, and then
rock the dinner.
Yeah, I got you. We'll go to Lou next. Hey, Lou, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good, buddy. All right, Lou, what have you been eating?
Lou from Delco.
Okay.
Hey, all right.
Go ahead, Lou.
So I worked at private ambulance, and a friend of mine owns Zach's Hamburgers, and every night for dinner, we ate there for about 3 years. Burgers, fries, and shakes. On our way between calls. It was,
Every night for 3 years, the same dinner.
Oh my God, yeah. It was, and I still, it's like mental. If I go near a Zach's, I got to pull in.
Hey, does Zach still just have the one location at
No,
5
no.
Points?
No, there's 3 or 4. The original location was down on Chester Pike. That was perfect for us because we used to drive between 2 places and go right by it.
Okay.
But they have one in Folsom, and then that one in 5 Points.
Yeah, my old Arby's is
Thanks,
now a Zach's.
No kidding. I
Yeah.
see. I remember when it was just very small and
that little spot at
that one
5
place.
Points.
And
yeah.
then remember, I saw the cup on Mayor of Easttown. They were
That's
holding
right.
the Zach's Hamburgers cup. All right. Anyway, I digress.
We digress.
Let's go to Eleanor. Hi, Eleanor. Good morning.
Good morning. I like turtles.
Don't we all? So, Eleanor, we're talking about, for those of you just tuning in, we got started with this, David Beckham's wife, Victoria, eats the exact same thing and has for 25 years for dinner. What's your regular thing, and how long has it been going on?
So it was my parents, and my mom took wheat toasted bread with tuna fish and an apple for 22 years when she was working.
Wow.
My dad took white bread with butter and cheese with an orange every day, and he worked for a another 10 years after her.
A butter and cheese sandwich?
Butter and cheese sandwich, and which I've never really heard of before,
Yeah.
and an orange, but that's it every day for decades.
Decades.
Wow.
And they were from the old country. They were from Scotland, and they came here with nothing but a bag of oranges and a car and 2 kids.
Wow.
So they were so cheap. It was unreal. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Well, that's the old Scottish thing, right? You know, when you come to my house,
Yes.
ring the doorbell with your elbow because
are.
you're going to be bringing something.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, when they put a Wendy's up across the street from her work, she splurged one time in 22 years, and we went to lunch because they had the salad bar.
The super bar at Wendy's.
God, man.
That's funny.
It was disgusting. It was just like, oh my God, how can you eat this every freaking day? How?
Right.
I just, oh.
I think it becomes psychological.
Eleanor, after work ended, did she switch it up a little bit?
Not really. They were pretty stringent because
Okay.
she went on Weight Watchers like when it first started out, and she ate liver, on Wednesdays. She had, fish on Fridays. Blah blah. It was like this. It was like the same schedule all the time.
Okay.
I hated eating at home. I used to always call my friend, like, does your mom have stovetop stuffing? I'm coming. I had to go.
That's when you're like, I'm going to live high on the hog. I'm going to have stovetop stuffing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Larry's mom had liver, too. I'm out of here. Yeah, it was gross.
All right. Thanks, Eleanor. Oh, my God. That's funny. All right. Let's go to Tina, who had a ritual. Hi, Tina. Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm such a fangirl.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Is this your first time on with us?
This is my first time on, and this is crazy because my husband was on last week. He was a GM for Wawa, and he called.
Oh, I
Yep,
remember.
talking about the batteries.
He
That's
gave us
right.
very usable information.
And that's so funny. So it's like 2 for 1.
All right. So what have you been eating, and how long have you been eating it?
So for about 15 years, I've been eating Quaker oatmeal, the instant cups. And it does, I think, go to I'm an elementary school teacher, and for years I was a cereal eater, and we have 4 kids, so there's not enough time in the morning to eat a bowl of cereal. So it was like, oh, this is quick and easy. I'll throw the little oatmeal cup in, and that's what I've been doing now. Every day, my students love it. They laugh. Sometimes they'll come in and be like, oh, my gosh, it smells like syrup. Were you having, maple and brown sugar? Or they'll try to guess, like, based on the sense of the room. But it's totally a teacher. I think it's a teacher thing.
I think you're right. Yeah, I love oatmeal in the morning, and I used to do instant oatmeal for the first 6 or 7 years in radio. I'd do the same thing, and I had my same bowl that I'd use, clean it out, and, that's another ritual.
14 years without deviation, though. That's 15 years, you said.
Yes. Well, our oldest is 14. So, yes, I would say about 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, my gosh, I love you guys.
Oh, thank you, Tina. Thanks for coming on. We're so happy you called in. I wonder, if you have a regular eating habit like that, and it's just for decades that's going on, that if you were to change it up, if it would mess with your system at all.
Yes.
I remember, I'm sorry to interrupt,
No,
Steve,
yeah.
but when Casey, when you went vegetarian for a while, maybe this is a different animal.
Yeah.
And then you had a hamburger, and didn't you throw up right after that?
So there was probably a little bit of hangover involved in that throw up as well.
It wasn't just the meat.
It wasn't, no. So it was.
What the hell is in that hamburger?
It was graduation weekend, and my friend had worked at a not a convenience store, but a fast food chain. Brought a whole bag of stuff, and I went to town. And I was really, really hungover that day, and I ate it, and I ended up throwing up out the window of my room.
If you do consistently take in a type of food at a certain time, you can jar your system. And I used to do it when I was like doing a lot more like powerlifting and stuff like that. I'm going to have this now, and it's going to rock my system.
Yeah.
And just to flush your system, sort of, and your body goes, what the hell is this?
Right.
And it does happen.
I will go to Jeremy. There's a term here I've never heard before that he wants to use. Hi, Jeremy. You're on the air. Good morning. Good morning, buddy. All right, so this is your wife who has a regular, everyday thing to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
It's for easily over 5 years, she wakes up, has a bowl of cereal, which has to be Cheerios.
Okay.
And then at lunch, she has road tuna. That's what she calls it.
Road tuna. Okay.
She keeps it in her car. It's just like a package of 5 crackers and tuna.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what time of year. She keeps that in her car, which is gross.
Yes, summertime.
Tuna in the car?
Yeah.
So does she use the cans or the packs of tuna?
So it comes in one big, in a little pack. It has 5 crackers in a package, and then a little tiny can of tuna.
Oh, a little can of tuna. Okay, all right, road tuna.
I dig this the packs, and they have buffalo.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different flavors.
I love
You can
those.
get like Italian
Yeah.
or lemon and pepper.
Man, they're good.
Interesting, Jeremy.
Road tuna, I love that.
I'm not familiar. That could be a band name, Road Tuna. I'll consider that. Thank you. Let's go to Joe. Hi, Joe. Good morning, sir. Gadzooks, my man. All right, so there's something that you've ritualistically eaten for years, right?
So I wasn't completely honest on the phone.
Okay.
Because I was kind of embarrassed by it. But hearing other people, I guess I'll admit it.
Thanks, Kath. Will Forte joining us later on this morning. A Fox Good Day check-in in a little while. But with this warmer weather, and I mean substantially warmer, sunnier, summertime weather, I think it's time to dust off somebody that we haven't had by in a little while. It's time for the beachcomber this morning. Yes. That's right, folks. Or the beach bum. I'm sorry.
The beach bum comes the beach.
We have artwork now as up on our monitor. It says Preston Elliott is the beach bum. And it's me in early 1960s beach gear playing a ukulele.
Yes.
I've got some stories that concern the Jersey Shore.
Well, everyone's thinking about the shore now and then returning.
Yeah, and
you guys have been down already.
I was
Casey's
down
right?
last weekend. Spent some time with Casey there as well.
Yeah, I was down the last 3 weekends, just kind of getting some things done and hanging with the family. I love it in the off season, especially when it's getting so close to the season.
In the world of rentals, a ton of people rent and have their things set up. I'm sure they're set up now well in advance. You'd have to.
You need to start.
At this point.
Yeah, a lot of times people will rent as they're finishing their vacation that year.
It's the only way to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the massive influx of people. What time do most of the people start setting up their properties or?
Like now. So the other thing is, and I know this isn't what you want to talk about, but like when you're doing things like power washing and stuff like that, you want to do all of that stuff before Memorial Day because the water prices go up.
True. Yeah, we did a lot of power washing this past weekend.
Yeah.
We did outdoor. It was, as Casey had said, we did a full blitz on the house. We had the whole family get out and clean it up and get it ready for the season, and we were all prepared.
Swab the deck.
So with that, I wanted to pass along this article that Marissa sent me, and it is from USA Today's 10 Best. It's a Reader's Choice Awards for 2025.
Ooh.
The 10 best boardwalks in America.
The 10 best and we have some formidable boardwalks.
And there are some examples of our local boardwalks in this list, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to run down the top 10 for you here. We'll start at number 10, Virginia Beach Boardwalk.
I've been on.
Tops.
Yes.
I've never been there. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yeah, Virginia Beach to me seemed very city-like. To me, it was a little overwhelming in its size.
It would be more akin to what you might find going northern Jersey towards.
Yeah. I felt that similar vibe. And Ocean City, Maryland, I know a lot of people love it, and I like it, but it's massive. I like my beach towns a little calmer and greener.
Yeah, Ocean City is a little bit more city-y.
That's
talking
what I
about
mean.
The Maryland part.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a beach town. Yeah,
that's number 9 on the list.
Hey!
Okay. Ocean City Boardwalk, Maryland.
Yeah. And listen, this is not. I've been there only a couple of occasions. First occasion wasn't all that great. Getting in and out of that city was really gross. Yeah.
I was just there for the Ocean's Calling festival last fall, and Dave Matthews Band played, and Counting Crows and Mount Joy. Really good concert on the beach. But the traffic in and out was a lot, and look, if you love Ocean City, go for it. To me, it's Ocean City, Maryland. I mean, just not my vibe.
All right, number 8 on this list. Ocean City, New Jersey.
Wow. Only 8, really?
Okay.
I think their boardwalk is amazing. I love their boardwalk. It's just
it is. It's beautiful. It's in great shape.
It's in great
Very
shape.
clean.
Do they know how you feel?
The T-shirt shops aren't gross like Wildwood. You know, like in fact, I love the Wildwood Boardwalk. It's just those gross ass T-shirt shops. They're these just seem scuzzy and like, you know what I mean?
I know
Like,
exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I am not a boardwalk person. I will actually look to find somewhere if I'm going on vacation that doesn't have a boardwalk.
Doesn't have a boardwalk.
To me, it just means it's very touristy. It's crowds. Like you're talking about the store. Like no one's actually shopping there. Like to me, it's. I understand the point of the boardwalk, and actually, riding a bike or something like that might be enjoyable. But I much prefer. I prefer more, without the boardwalk and sort of just the beach town.
Well, you have a scuzzy T-shirt business, and you don't like the
Exactly.
competition.
I don't like the competition.
So growing up in New York, Coney Island, the Coney Island Boardwalk was legendary. You'd go do that, and that was always fun. So I do enjoy me a good boardwalk.
Yeah, Kathy, do you enjoy a good stroll?
Like a walk?
A stroll. Yeah, like
A leisurely walk.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like especially at the beach, absolutely. But I would rather walk through the streets or on the beach than this.
Because I feel like Ocean City is a good strolling boardwalk. Even on a Friday or Saturday night, it might be a little bit crowded, but I don't know. I just kind of get those vibes.
All right,
Do you walk along with like a parasol?
Yeah.
That's number 8. Number 7 is the Venice Beach Boardwalk.
I've been there.
Italy.
That one I love.
No, not in Italy. Yeah, it's a people watching place.
It
for
sure is.
Yeah, and the Strand connects all the way down to Manhattan Beach and the other beach towns in LA, and you can ride a bike up to Santa Monica and stuff. That is my vibe. I love that a lot.
Number 6 on this list, the Atlantic City Boardwalk, which I don't spend much time on, but okay,
it's kind of gross.
All right,
It's all right.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me.
Let me ask you a quick question, Preston. Is Wildwood on there?
I'm not saying that.
Let him do his list
here, dude.
One.
All right. Anyway, Marissa, yes.
So I want to defend Atlantic City Boardwalk because it's really nice if you are like in Margate or Ventnor and you can ride your bike to Atlantic City. It's also a nice way to like go to casino to casino. Like if you're seeing a show,
I think it's fine. Yeah,
you can go to a restaurant at another. They have the water park there. They have a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not the Wildwood Boardwalk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I love Wildwood Boardwalk, and I think Wildwood Boardwalk has grosser elements to it than the Atlantic City Boardwalk. I think the Atlantic City Boardwalk is totally fine, and it's nice, and it's kept up nicely.
I will say, and I didn't think about this until now, why it might go above Ocean City is you can get a drink on the Atlantic City Boardwalk and then take it out to the beach.
And you can get a rickshaw too.
Oh,
if you want to
yeah,
take
true.
a ride and you don't feel like walking all the way down it too. All right, so number 5.
Yeah, they'll actually, those rickshaws will take you from one male strip club to another.
That's number 6. Number 5 on the list is Kemah Boardwalk in Kemah, Texas. I don't know that one. Number 4 is Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, and that's in California. Number 3, so this is over the entire country.
Yep, I like it.
Number 3 is the Carolina Beach Boardwalk, and you'll find that in Carolina Beach, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Number 2 on the list is Ocean Beach Park Boardwalk. That's in Connecticut, New London, Connecticut.
All right,
Heard of that.
And the number 1 boardwalk in America, according to USA Today 10 Best, Wildwood, New Jersey.
There you go. Listen, it has 3 adventure piers. You know what I mean? Like it's got 3 different piers to go on rides, and big rides, not just little kid rides.
But is that what makes it, like, what makes a good boardwalk? Is it the rides?
Well,
the
read their
activities?
description. They talk about it.
Here it is. Originally a 150-yard boardwalk at its inception in the 1890s. The boardwalk in Wildwoods, New Jersey now stretches for 38 blocks and is packed with shops, restaurants, bars, water parks, and an amusement pier featuring over 100 attractions.
I mean, that's pretty comprehensive.
It's big.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The Wildwood Boardwalk is big.
It's like all the things I want to stay away from.
Listen, I was walking on it this past weekend, and they have refurbished the overwhelming majority of the actual boards. They're all brand new. It looks great.
Yep.
Casey, they still need to update the buildings, the facades, the crappy looking the t-shirt places. They are scuzzy looking.
Yeah.
And that's
that's what Ocean City's boardwalk really is better at. It's got a better facade on it. It just
presents
looks
better.
nicer.
Yeah. You can still have scuzzy t-shirts, But if it's scuzzy T-shirts on a black wall that the paint is peeling and all, like that's what I'm talking about. It's not necessarily just the topic or subject of said T-shirts that are hanging, for all to read and see and everything. It really just paint the wall a little bit.
And instead of rickshaws, you get the tram car, which is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you what is it with the new, do we have the Patrick Swayze?
Watch the tram car, please.
Oh, yeah.
While you're looking for that, Casey, I just got a nice message from Commissioner Amy Gatto, who is the Atlantic County's first ever female chairperson of the Board of Chosen Freeholders in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And Amy, you have a fine city, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Sorry about that.
So
I
sorry.
like the Atlantic City
I
Board.
do too.
Good. Preston and Steve are on board.
Yes.
I think it's absolutely.
Some people have different opinions.
Yeah, it's a boardwalk that I enjoy.
I said I enjoyed it as well.
Okay, you guys can go.
Here is here's the new tram car message as you ride along.
Your mama is a whore, and even she knows to watch the tram car.
So there you
God,
go.
I wish they would play that one time.
All right, I have another Beachcomber story for you. And in fact, we're going to stay in the Wildwoods the whole time. The Beachcomber, I believe.
What town gets the big? So what? You know me. You're opening up my eyes to the Jersey Shore in many ways.
Yeah.
What town gets the greatest influx of tourism during the summer?
Oh, I don't know.
All of them.
All of them. Yeah, I mean,
There's got to be one that leads the pack.
well, I mean, Ocean City, I think, is the most densely populated.
Well, it's the size
Yeah.
of the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They're all pretty packed, and everyone has their favorite, and you'll never convince them otherwise.
Wildwood is the biggest, right? Because you have North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest. And
Wildwood.
Wildwood. That's the biggest. I feel like Ocean City is the most densely populated.
All right.
It's the toughest to find parking. So that answers your question. I would
Okay,
say it's
yeah.
either between Ocean City or Wildwood.
All right.
All right, so here's another story from the Beachcomber. Wawa is going to be moving ahead with plans to build another retro store in Wildwood that's going to pay homage to the doo-wop architecture.
Geez, so you're going to have a second one?
There's going to be a second one. So we have the one doo-wop Wawa, which is great. It's
very
one that
cool.
I stop by every time I get into town because it's on my way to our place.
All right, so are they going to put it where the other existing Wawa is on New Jersey, or?
It is going to be, Casey, in March, Wildwood officials approved plans for the new store to replace a Rite Aid at 3400 New Jersey Avenue. So, Casey, it's towards the bowling alley.
Yeah, I know, because that Rite Aid's been closed down for a little while. So.
Yeah.
It's now becoming a doo-wop Rite Aid.
So, no, it's going to be doo-wop Wawa.
Yeah.
The building will be demolished, and Wawa will move from a smaller neighboring location into the newly constructed property.
Okay.
The existing Wawa does not have a gas station, but the new one will bring 5 fuel pumps. That's kind of small.
It is
to
small.
an area of 7 Mile Island that does not have any gas
Are they
stations.
moving ahead with the doo-wop colonoscopy center?
Probably.
Yeah, that would be
You know,
great.
they have kind of the McDonald's is a unique looking McDonald's by the doo-wop Wawa as well. So
Yeah.
they have some unique
I
architecture.
like that. It's a nice summer feel.
Yeah, totally.
They
So
still don't let you ride your bike up to the drive-thru, though.
So during the discussion with Wawa, city officials have requested that the company incorporate doo-wop elements into the new store, because they love that look. It's just it does kind of transform you in time a little bit.
It's classic Americana. You think of that look, and it puts you in a state of mind. I agree.
Yeah.
In the dead of winter, I don't know how it plays emotionally, but I like it.
Yeah, Wildwood's done a very nice job, I think, of prettying up the entrance into Wildwood as you're coming down 47 or whatever. Yeah,
You're right.
You come in there. There was just, they just left a lot to be desired.
May I ask you
know what
something?
Yeah.
I know what you have issues with.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with a doo-wop scuzzy T-shirt place?
Oh.
Maybe.
Okay.
I think
Just
it'd
as
be all
long as
right.
the walls are painted, that's all.
But they've decorated with these. The beach ball is kind of the theme of Wildwood, and they've added more of those elements as you drive in.
I like that,
and it just kind of makes you feel summery, happy.
Does,
beach.
I think maybe we've talked about this before. Does Wawa do that at any other locations, like tailor to the town? Because I'm impressed that they do this for Wildwood.
I think when we had Chris Geisens in here last, we talked about the doo-wop Wawa, and I think he had said that is the only location that they have altered the actual facade, the look
Good
of
for
it.
them.
Yeah.
Nick, it's got to be something like the Blue Arches in Sedona. Like, it goes with
the McDonald's, right?
Yeah, the McDonald's. Like, they had to do that, so maybe it's
Right.
something like that.
Somebody texts in and says the Wildwood Acme has a retro look, too. It does on New Jersey Avenue.
You're right.
Yeah. So they try to keep that consistent in the architecture there.
Casey, I'm surprised. We were always talking about Acme. We never brought that up.
Always talking about Acme.
All right, let's go another Beachcomber story as we're on the beach enjoying the weather.
You should actually do the Preston. You should do it.
I should do the little twist each time the music plays. That's for our YouTube audience. So, John's Water Ice is bringing South Philly flavor to the Jersey Shore Boardwalk. So, this will be for the first time. The Jersey Shore will have an expansion of John's Water Ice. They announced it on social media last week. It'll be on the Wildwood Boardwalk. I don't know exactly where, Casey. But I'm not I've never been to John's Water Ice, but I guess it's a staple in South Philly. I don't know.
Not familiar.
I feel like I'm a Rita's guy.
It says here, South Philadelphia favorite John's Water Ice.
Let me ask you guys a question about water ice because there are subtle differences in ice cream shops from ice cream shop to ice cream shop. I don't really feel like there are many differences in water ice shops to water ice shops. I feel like Rita's is great. They make me happy. I don't need to wander away from that. But am I wrong? Am I missing out on the best water ice everywhere?
Is there a better water ice?
Exactly.
Nick, Pops Water Ice.
Okay.
So John's and Pops, in my opinion, are two the competitors. There's actually a John's opening in South Philly as well too.
And where's Pops?
Pops is on Broad in Oregon.
There's also a Pops, I believe, on Eagle Road in Harrowtown. So I don't know.
What? You just blew my mind. What? There's a second Pops.
By the way,
but John's is on 7th and Christian, and it's a big deal.
By the way, is there a difference between Italian water ice and Polish water ice? Because I've seen
I think Polish is maybe a little creamier.
Yeah.
Creamier?
Yeah.
It's creamier water.
And one's more like flaky, icy.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, and this kind of water ice is more familiar with like a Rita's, where a Polish, as Casey said, it's closer. It's somewhere between ice cream and water ice.
Yeah, it's more custard-like Polish is.
And they have a lot of pierogi water ice.
Wow, interesting.
And by the way, there is a Pops on Eagle Road in Havertown. Yeah.
So in New York, years ago, Kathy, it's Italian ice is what you refer to it as, not water ice.
Same thing.
Yeah, but it is the same thing. Though you would find perhaps it was classic Italian ice, perhaps like a lemon ice, a lot more actual lemon in it.
Okay.
So John's Water Ice, like Marissa said, it was on Kristen Street. They have another one in Huntington Valley. But you said you don't know where they're going on the Wildwood
No, I'm
Boardwalk?
sorry. It said it didn't reveal the opening date for the North Wildwood location at 2024 Boardwalk. So I guess it's at around 20th Street, somewhere around that range.
Casey or at Preston, what's that big bar, outdoor, fun place on the Wildwood Boardwalk? Oh, that is also on there.
Oh,
are you talking about
Seaport or
Pig Dog?
Seaport Pier.
Seaport Pier.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Where is that? Like what's
That's
the
right in North Wildwood. That's right as it turns to North Wildwood.
26th and Ocean or the beach or whatever. Yeah,
somewhere in that range.
Technically, I think North Wildwood, not Wildwood proper.
Correct. That's what I just said.
That's what Preston just said.
I already asked Preston.
I did
Thanks
hear
for
you say
confirming.
that. I just repeat. We repeat each other sometimes.
We repeat each other
sometimes.
It's like you guys are twins.
That's
like we're
almost like
twins.
that. Yeah. All right. Let's get one more story. Sorry, I'm dancing. I can't dance and talk at the same time. So AOL.com has ranked the best cheap lunch in every state in the country. I'll give you a couple that don't have anything to do with the beach. In Delaware, Angelo's Luncheonette is in Wilmington, and it's considered the best cheap lunch in the state. It is called Angelo's Luncheonette.
Yeah,
they serve mud.
Okay. I believe that is a roadside destination, if I recall. Yeah,
It doesn't look like it, Nick.
It says, well, I'll read the description to you.
That's good.
In operation since 1967, Angelo's Luncheonette, and by the way, I love the word luncheonette.
It's great. Name.
Is an old school diner with lots of Elvis, Coca-Cola, and Campbell's memorabilia for a walk down memory lane. Breakfast is popular, especially the chunky hash browns.
Oh. Yes.
But don't overlook the Italian sausage sandwiches with peppers and marinara, grilled cheese, and Campbell's tomato tomato soup or a beef and cheese hoagie, get an old-fashioned chocolate Coke to wash it down.
I'm thinking of a different
Chocolate
place, and
Coke.
it's a if anybody can text in or email me and let me know, it's like a very famous road stop destination in Delaware. There's a road that goes to the beaches that's not Route 1, and a lot of people that know Delaware know this place well.
Stop
so
there.
let me know.
I don't. This is in Wilmington.
Okay.
So I don't know if
This is south of Wilmington on the way to the Delaware.
on the way.
beaches.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, it says here, get an old-fashioned chocolate Coke.
That raised my antenna, Preston.
that's
I'm
like-
not familiar. What's
That's
that?
straight out of Nifty 50s, man. Like they have chocolate soda.
I've heard of vanilla Coke before, but
yeah, no,
chocolate
I mean,
Coke.
They could do cotton candy Coke, whatever kind of syrup
All right.
you want to chuck in there.
All right, in Pennsylvania, the best cheap lunch is in Pittsburgh. It's a place called Apollo Cafe.
Apollo.
And offers a
want to go to lunch, Apollo?
super fast, fresh counter service lunch. It's been around for over 30 years.
Order
and
up.
It's family owned. And you'll feel like a family yourself if you become a regular, they said. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to read the rest of it. That's right. It does stink. All right. So, and here's the one that I say for last because it falls in with the Beachcomber. In Ocean City, New Jersey, Manco and Manco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For cheap?
Cheap, best cheap lunch. They're not
That is-
cheap?
No, they're not cheap.
I've never been there.
It's so ridiculously expensive.
Really?
For a cracker pizza.
So you're saying it's not cheap?
Yeah.
All right.
Even a slice is not cheap.
What is a cheap slice of pizza for you, Preston?
I don't usually get a slice of pizza. I don't know.
Like $2, you would say, is like a cheap slice of pizza?
Slices range from $3.50 to $9.50.
That is not cheap.
And it's yeah. I would not consider. No, that's not cheap. It's not the cheapest.
Well, we're looking at like a whole
Specialty.
pizza is like $43.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I-
look at the meat lover's pie, $39.
Yeah, no, that's not cheap. This, where'd
So
you
wait
get
a
this
second.
list?
They're talking about for if you're going in for like the one slice is how much? $3.50?
Though it says it ranges from $3.50 to $9.50, so I'm sure the $3.50 is just a slice of cheese pizza.
But look at Mango.
Yeah, plain.
Yeah, Mango and Mango's $3.50 for the slice, and then $25 plus tax for a pie. That's, to me, that is not cheap.
I agree with you. Well, according to this list with AOL.com, and I'll read the description, a classic pizza shop offers one of the cheapest, fastest lunches you can get. Try a slice or two at Manco and Manco on the Ocean City Boardwalk since 1956, thanks to its crispy crust and swirl of sweet, tangy sauce. How does that sound, Casey, when they actually...
I kind of forget. Something like this.
All right. Thanks to its crispy crust, swirl of sweet, tangy sauce, it was named the best slice you've never tasted by Esquire magazine.
This is from AOL.com.
Yeah. All right. The slices range, it says, from $3.50 to $9.50, so have a few to prepare for a long afternoon on the beach.
The place that I was thinking about is called Helen's Sausage House. I believe we've actually talked about them, the place in Delaware. It's on DuPont Highway in Smyrna, Delaware.
Okay.
And if you're driving north and south through Delaware, especially if you're heading to the beaches or whatever, people stop there all the time. At one point, Marissa just sent over an email. They did Preston and Steve letters in sausage on their griddle.
Sausages. Then they're our favorite.
Yeah, PNS WMMR sausage is from Helen's Sausage House in Smyrna, Delaware.
Okay, just for the record, I'm just looking at another pizza place at the shore, Circle Pizza, because that was always my
go-to.
That was my go-to. So their large pizza is $22.99. So
Okay, big difference.
I mean, it's in the range of Mango, but it's
still
cheap.
better.
It's still cheaper. So
Yeah.
how are they listing them as the cheapest that you can get?
You're not impugning their quality of the pizza. You're just saying that to be labeled as a cheap pizza is inaccurate.
Right.
Correct.
We're looking at a picture, a social media post from Helen's Sausage House, where sure enough, they spelled out P&S and WMMR in sausages, and they wrote, "Thank you so much to the Shart Out yesterday. We truly appreciated it, and it was completely unexpected. The whole intention was to send love to our friends at Michigan State. If you want to send them more love and support, please do." That's awesome. Helen's Sausage House. I would actually call it Helen's House of Sausage.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That has a nice ring to it as well.
Where are the sausages?
Obviously, it's doing well at Helen's Sausage House. So we love you, Helen's Sausage House.
I don't get to the Delaware beaches enough. I really like it. Like Rehoboth is awesome and Dewey. So next time I'm heading down that way,
You guys stop.
swing by Helen.
May I suggest that their street signs should actually be written in sausage?
In honor of that, do we have the longer sausage clip to play, Case, if you wouldn't mind? We haven't heard that in a long time. We usually just play the truncated where the sausage is. And it actually comes from a longer clip. And in honor of Helen's Sausage House, we should probably play that. Casey's going to see if he can find it. Yeah, right. Or no, we don't have it anymore.
Son of a bitch.
All right, we can find it again sometime. That one is still available. But Helen and company, thank you guys. All right, it's time to pack up our stuff and leave the beach.
All right.
We got to wrap it up, dust off all the sand, fold up the chairs, get those things back together in the house, and crack open a brew. We are going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment, and we will go live on Fox Good Day. We will also have your chance to win $1,000 for the first time today.
Bad.
Yeah, we're going to do it twice alone on our program, but 5 times throughout the course of the day. It's Preston Steve 20 Money, and we'll see what's up on Fox Good Day in the Bizarre File. When we return, stay with us.
Pizza for 30 years.
30 years.
So I'm 36. It started when I was in kindergarten. That's all I would eat for lunch, and the kids knew me as Pizza Joe. So,
Oh my God.
if anybody's listening, yeah, Pizza Joe still eats
Pizza Joe's still around.
Pizza
Joe. And he's still eating pizza. So this is every day without fail.
Yeah, so I obviously I work now. Yeah, I just eat pizza in my car. There's probably nobody has seen me not eat pizza. I'm a large man.
You're a large man. All right, Joe, are you?
I know I need to stop. I tried to stop and literally had like panic attacks from I need my pizza. Like,
oh my God.
It's been your friend since kindergarten.
All right, couple of questions here, Joe. Does it matter where you get the pizza from? What who makes it?
No, just as long as there's cheese, no topping.
Okay. Does it bother you that you have this kind of this compulsion, this chain to eat only cheese pizza?
It did, and then everything else in the world. I just went, you know what? I'm eating pizza and living life.
All right, yeah. Do you still like it?
Yeah, but
wait, Joe, do you still like it as much as you always have?
Yeah, sometimes I'm eating it though, and I'm just looking like, what the hell am I doing?
Okay, all right, interesting.
Pizza's the one thing I can see, like, it's always good. And even when it's not that good, it's still pretty good, as they say. So pizza, and also the different types of pizza. But you said 30 some odd years, Joe?
36 years. Yeah.
36 years.
Well, no, I guess that wouldn't be right, because I started at 6 and I'm 36.
Okay, so about.
Listen, and I'm really going to recommend this. If this really bothers you, you need to touch out. You need to reach out to Dr. Rosenpenis. Dr. Rosenberg. Sorry, Rosenbaum. I always said.
We're so used to penis.
We are used to penis.
Our hypnotist, and maybe he can help you out.
Maybe. If I could do a quick story. When I was in school, the cafeteria, would have pizza. So on the card one day, pizza was for lunch, so I didn't bring my pizza in, and it wasn't pizza that day. It was like hot dogs.
Oh, no.
What happened?
This was 6th grade, so I broke down crying. And you'd think kids would make fun of me, but they were super supportive kids. They were like, well, yeah, it's Pizza Joe. You didn't get pizza for Pizza Joe?
They knew you as Pizza Joe, and they rallied. Kids who can be very cruel rallied to your support.
So I literally just ate the hot dog buns.
Oh, my God.
The closest thing to pizza
with
you can get.
ketchup on them.
Joe, I feel terrible for you, man. That's actually a little bit traumatizing.
Yeah, I have to talk to a hypnotist.
Hey, hang on, though. Would it be wild if Dr. Rosenpenis, though, changes it to calzones every day?
Right. But Joe, like a different version of pizza.
Joe, do you only eat pizza? That's all you eat?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's all.
Okay, so besides the lunch meal, your dinner
is pizza too?
If I go out to somebody offers me out to dinner or something, I will stomach something else, but I'll get the smallest portion because I don't want to eat it.
Okay.
Oh,
all right.
This is like going back to being a parent and not letting your kid have pizza and chicken nuggets and making them eat their vegetables.
I mean, I love my parents, but that's literally what it was I was a picky eater, and they said, well, here's pizza and cheese, and It's just been that for years.
I know the parents will sometimes, and you're advised to sort of acquiesce. And maybe, guys, you have kids, I don't. But like I said, my neighbor over in Manayunk, her daughter ate Go-Gurt and chicken nuggets.
Yeah, you
That
can't
was it
really
for years.
force stuff on kids. I mean, listen, if it tastes bad, it tastes bad to
Yeah.
them, you know. By the way, Joe, Marissa wrote down this question: are pizza Lunchables acceptable?
That's disgusting. Get out of here.
It's an aberration. I love the story
Joe,
of
I like
Pizza
this.
Joe.
I feel a little bad for you, bud.
Yeah.
Hang on a second here,
Joe, I mean, like, do you feel like you're missing out? Because pizza is wonderful. There's no doubt about it. But, like, there's a lot of other great foods out there.
Yeah, I guess I am missing out.
Let me. For you, Joe, there are so many different types of pizza and ways to prepare pizza that you could kind of exist in that realm if you were to perhaps throw some chicken on it now and then, just for a little bit more protein and stuff like that. So
Transition that way?
Yeah. You've never varied the menu, and toppings are a no-go for you, right?
No, I don't like the toppings.
Okay.
On it. It honestly will make me gag. Like,
wow. Okay.
I assume does tomatoes have vitamin C in it? Because otherwise, he's going to have scurvy, man. I mean,
Surprisingly, pizza is actually fairly good nutrition-wise. It's actually fairly good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. That's a really interesting story. Thanks for sharing with us. All right.
All right.
And from here on out, we'll know you as Pizza
Pizza
Joe.
Joe.
There's no other.
All right.
Pizza. Wouldn't you love to
Thanks,
see
Joe.
from like Touchstone Pizza Joe?
Pizza Joe.
Yeah.
A heartwarming story that starts off kind of tragic. I could see that. Yeah.
Eat your pizza, or they'll all laugh at you.
Oh no.
Tomatoes have vitamin C and potassium.
Okay. Well, there you go. So he's getting his nutrients. Okay.
I mean,
God, he would take him over to Lorenzo's.
Protein from cheese. Oh, I'm sure, dude.
Yeah.
Joe's probably he knows Lorenzo's if he's eating nothing but cheese pizza, I would imagine. All right, well, listen, thank you for your calls. Thank you for those of you who are on hold. I apologize I didn't get a chance to get to you, but quite interesting.
Yeah.
The calls that we got. And you know what? Let's give away Philly Pretzel Factory.
Yeah.
Gift cards. On the heels of that food conversation, I have a $25 gift card. And we'll take caller number 18 at 215-263-WMOR. The big game needs some big snacks. No game day is complete without a party tray from Philly Pretzel Factory. If you're hosting or heading to a party, order your party tray from phillypretzelfactory.com today. So let's take care of you. Give us a call right now. We'll be back, and Bizarre Files on the way. Behind the
Thank you,
it is
Kathy.
unclear how much the hacker demanded. I thought this might be kind of nice to examine a little bit and maybe open this up to you, since you are most likely on the way into work this morning, to let us know something about what you do that everybody needs to know. And to give you an example, there's a lot of good ones on this list, and I'll lead with this one. This is what you and the people that work in your industry understand, but the people who don't work in your industry probably need to know. And
I love stuff like this.
This first one is from emergency room workers. It says emergency rooms are not first come, first serve business. We triage you for a reason, and you cannot cut the line in front of somebody with a more serious complaint just because you got here first. And listen, I have been in that situation where you sit in the emergency room for eternity, and you're like, I got here before them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just because his head was cut off?
Right.
Wow.
But you may not know what's going on with that
You don't
person, and they need to get in there.
we went into it was a CHOP emergency room. It wasn't down in the city. It was actually the one out in King of Prussia, and it was a 3-hour wait. And as we were sitting there, it was when Jace. I think we talked about it. You guys remember? Jace got poison ivy, and it was like spreading on his body. I was like watching it spread. It was like, everywhere. So we walked in, and they were like, "Okay, it's going to be a 3-hour wait." And then I went back up, and I'm like, his eyes were swollen. I'm like, it's all over. Like, how do we not know it's in his throat? And they were like, okay, come on back. Like, I think the second I thought, I mentioned, like, could it affect the breathing or whatever?
Right.
And we went right back. But I remember, like, the poor other kids in the waiting room, like, looking at when I walked out, I'm like, they're probably like these freaking people. Like, they went right back. But she's like, we have to check them to make sure
walked
that
out and said, say it's affecting your breathing.
Yeah. Say it's affecting your breathing.
So feel free to call and let us know. Here's another example. An airport worker, and this says, yes, your flight is in fact delayed due to weather. Yes, I also understand it's a gorgeous day here and at your destination airport. What you don't understand is that the airplane is coming from New York, and they had weather there. So, while it might seem like, why isn't this? Come on, there's a reason for it. By the way, 215-263 WMMR, the number.
I also want the things we're told that aren't necessarily true. The way they manage, the way they manage and meet our expectations.
What about when Marissa and I flew back from Chicago and they were like,
"Oh, right.
we don't know where your pilot is."
Yes.
Oh,
shouldn't you at least have a general idea? Is he in the States? Yeah.
You need us, we'll be at the bar.
And that's where you find the pilot.
Here's another one from a photographer. It says, no, I can't grab your iPhone and take a picture to match my best studio works, even if it's the most recent model of an iPhone. Also, yes, I do charge money just to take a picture.
That's great.
There was, here's Nick. This will speak to you and Andrea because she's an artist, your girlfriend. This one, and I sent you a chain of emails from people who are trying to get free stuff from artists. It says, this one says, pencils are expensive. Prints are expensive. Proper paper is expensive, and it takes a lot of time to do a painting. So, no, I can't give it to you for free for exposure. Yeah. Because that's thing, people beg artists, look, I'll post it on social media. I'll plug this, and so on and so on. And they want free stuff from artists all the time.
Artists of all types too. I mean, musicians, painters, sculptors, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, we'll put it out there. We'll give you exposure, and that's enough to pay you. Well, no, I need to get paid for my time and my work.
There's one time where that will hold water when they don't pay halftime performers at the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because, you're legitimately getting exposure.
If you're Snoop Dogg, it's cool.
All right, let me get some calls here. I'm going to go to Janet, who is an ER nurse. Hi, Janet. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful. Janet, what is it that people need to know about your line of work?
Just because they come in on a stretcher with an ambulance does not mean that they're automatically going to get a bed in the emergency room. They may still go out in the waiting room. Okay.
There were a couple of texts that came in saying that just because you take an ambulance doesn't mean that you're going to be seen before everyone else.
I think I would assume that if I came in, that they transported me in an ambulance, that they were going to get me right in.
We've had patients that leave, go across the street, call an ambulance, and come in
because they think
get a bed in the back.
Wow.
And they've been waiting in the waiting room.
gosh.
And we'll recognize the name and be that. No, doesn't happen like that. You go to the bottom of the list, back out in the waiting room you go.
Wow. So Janet, if to Kathy's point, if someone were to say, I think I'm having breathing problems, I mean, not that we're trying to have you betray the confidences, but would that accelerate their consideration?
It may, but they also are triaged by a qualified nurse that is going to be able to decipher most times whether they're really having breathing problems or they're faking it.
All right, Janet. Well, if you guys ever need help, I'm pretty good with the trach. And if you guys ever get backed up,
you don't want to pretend that you have some kind of a symptom that you don't really have. It's just going to head you down a path.
I had them laugh in my face.
Surprised.
Yeah, when
I know.
I talked about pregnancy pains, Preston.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Let me go to, I have Mike, who is a police officer. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Gadzooks, guys.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up, man?
So we've all seen a police officer pull up to a light, a traffic light, without his lights on, turn his lights on, go through, turn his lights back off. And everybody assumes they're just abusing their power, driving through the light to get through the light. That's absolutely not true. That 100% of the time they're responding to a medium priority call.
Okay.
Where they don't need their lights for the entire response, but they don't have, the time to wait at the traffic lights.
Yeah. And by the way, and speaking of that, a police officer is sitting in their car all day long.
Yeah.
Why would they pull up to a light and go, man, I got to get through this light right now?
Time turn to. You've done some crazy stuff on your show.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's a chance you're going to take?
I didn't hear the question.
Yeah.
One that I'm going to take or have taken.
Mentally, or that you'd like to I guess
have taken. Well, I mean, this is a physical thing, but I went skydiving, and that was taking a bit of a chance. And actually, it was a bigger chance I took the second time, because the first time it scared me so bad, I was overwhelmed. I almost passed out. It freaked me out that I said, you know what? Maybe I missed something there. Maybe it was just sensory overload.
Yes.
Let me do it one more time. No, it was terrifying the second time as well. I'm glad I did it. but I will never do it again. But that was definitely taking a big, quite literal leap of faith.
Yes. Yeah, and I think there's a law of diminishing returns on that.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve?
Made out with a hobo. Very risky.
Nice guy?
Jumped aboard a freight train. He shared some stew. There were some blisters on his lips, but I went for it. Yeah.
It seems like the risk taker in the room. I know Nick likes to travel, but Casey boy, he just screams risk taking.
I would agree.
Oh God! Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I think we all kind of have done the same things. Like, I've done the skydiving. Preston and I both have also flown in jet fighters. Which I think was riskier and more exhilarating than any skydiving.
Casey, you did an entire month of risk taking.
I know.
mean, Casey has a whole list of things that were pretty dangerous he did for the show.
I was talking about this last night with the Delco Live guys, but I drove a car into a pond at Linvilla Orchards, right? Like, and this was
at 50 miles an hour.
No, it was like 30 miles per hour. But like, I was the engineer, I was the architect, right? My idea.
You were the safety coordinator.
I was the safety coordinator, and my idea was make sure that the windows rolled down in case I have to get out. And then at the last second, I'm gonna throw a rope out the window, and that's gonna tether me to the shores.
he was dragged behind a horse running at a fairly decent clip through a field.
Oh, my favorite was we dragged him across the ice at the Spectrum at the time behind the Zamboni on his bare butt.
Yeah.
That one was fun, too.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when they brought in the new brown line rules.
Alex here has rappelled down a high-rise building in Center City.
Oh, yeah, I did that.
Nick did it.
I would never do.
And Marissa did it.
Yeah, that was fun. Did you like doing that, Alex?
Fun. I mean, when I stepped over that ledge and looked down, I rethought everything about my life. But yeah, fun.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm pretending it wasn't scary. It was scary, and I didn't really like it very much. Once was enough. I don't ever need to do that. By the way, happy early birthday, Alex. I know your birthday's tomorrow.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you.
I got you, baby.
Hey, what about the type of risk taking? Maybe asking that person out on a date that you've wanted to for a while. That's a different kind of risk as well.
Yeah. Oh, that is a risk, a big risk.
Hey, Alex, what are you doing for your birthday?
Ask someone on a date. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see what I can come up with.
All right. Yes.
So
that's not a no.
If it is National Risk Take a Day, why don't you guys take a risk?
Take a risk. Ask Alex. That's a nice.
There's some risks you don't need to take. All right, let's not get that going.
I think looking over a building is probably less of a risky proposition.
Good day, everybody. It is Wednesday, April.
See you guys. All right, we've been cut off. All right,
just cut off.
It is case we need to flip those two because it's 8:01, and before we get a look at traffic, we have your chance to win some money, and we are going to do it in this fashion.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
Absadiddle-a-doodly.
It's time for a Preston and Steve 20 money keyword.
All right, the word is vote. VOTE. All right, and you have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter that, and you can do it through the WMMR app or at WMMR.com, or you can text it to the special contest short code number, which we have set up. It's 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each MMR winner gets a pair of MMRBQ tickets on top of that, too. Winners will get a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone, and contest rules are available at WMMR.com. Preston and Steve's 20 Money is sponsored by United Tire and Service. Let me give you that word one more time. It's VOTE, V-O-T-E. Enter that now, and we wish you good luck. Let's take a look. Traffic, see how we're doing this morning. Kathy, what's going on?
295 southbound, you're stopped between 30 and the 42 freeway. This is an accident that's blocking two of the right lanes, so pretty big delay right now on 295. 42 freeway northbound, that's slowing from 41 to 55. 55 northbound backing up from Deptford to the 42 freeway. We've got a number of things happening. First, on the Schuylkill westbound, your Janvera Avenue all the way to Montgomery. It's a disabled vehicle off to the shoulder. That's adding to that delay. And then City out to Gladwin, eastbound side 202 into Belmont, the Boulevard. Boulevard to the Vine. 202 southbound jams 422 to Valley Forge Road. That's an accident in the left lane. This accident in Bucks County is still there. Route 1 northbound at 213. Actually, sorry, this is an accident in the left lane. This is unrelated to the disabled vehicle that was also there. So two different things happening. Pennsylvania Turnpike eastbound at Route 1, an accident in the left lane. Westbound is jammed from Willow Grove to Fort Washington. This traffic report brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit madd.org.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Adam Home Services. Get a $59 AC tune-up guaranteed to keep your system running or your money back. You can call the pros at adamhomeservices.com. All right, out of Florida, a woman is speaking out after she said a wild raccoon attacked her on her own property, and it's pretty weird what ended up happening. Gail Hines said she felt a bite on her leg soon as she opened her backyard door.
Yeah, that just happened.
She said, all of a sudden, I feel something on my leg biting me, and I look, and it's this huge raccoon.
Man.
And I scream and, of course, shake him off, and he runs off to the corner. Now, after being bitten, she said she quickly ran inside and doused her leg in peroxide, which, by the way, you're not supposed to do that.
Doesn't work, no.
Peroxide, actually, it is worse for open wounds.
Yeah.
It actually it goes against the healing property.
It enhances the raccoon toxins.
What does it help then? Anything?
It's better for like cleaning and things, not cleaning wounds, but cleaning surfaces and things like that. So, all right, anyhow.
I saw a huge raccoon when leaving my neighborhood this morning, and that sumbitch, he would not get out of the middle of the road. He just parked himself there, and I don't know if he was rabid or what was going on, but like he wasn't moving at all.
Listen, I've seen them get the size, like dog size.
Yes.
And bigger.
Yeah, Steve, he was massive.
So when her husband got home, they rushed to the emergency room. Her daughter then came home to wait for animal control. Gail said the raccoon had come out, and he had come to the pool to get some water, and then, listen to this, wandered off to the end of the courtyard, spit up blood, and keeled over and died.
Oh, my God.
Get that wound checked out.
After it bit her, that's what it did. So the raccoon's body was sent to a lab to get tested for rabies. To be safe, Gail opted for the vaccine for rabies. David Waleski of Palm Beach Animal Control said it was definitely more unusual just because the animal died on its own right after the exposure.
Do you think that biting a human's leg was in that raccoon's bucket list before it died?
And he said, you may see an animal acting very friendly. You may see an animal acting very aggressive. You may see an animal that is very vocal, making a lot of noises that are unexplainable. But that one was weird. Fortunately, the animal tested negative for the deadly disease.
Wow.
Gail said she's relieved. She believes the raccoon may have ingested rat poison. If not, she jokes that maybe she's the problem. She said, all of my friends were saying, oh, my God, one bite of Gail and he's dead. Very strange.
That's frightening, man.
All right, here's a scientific study. Cat owners sometimes have unique questions that even Google doesn't always have the answer to. And a kid who needed a 6th grade science project decided to skip the cat forums for answers and instead use the scientific method. So his name is Caden Henry, lives in Florida, and bravely pondered a question that few have been brave enough to ask, and that is, do cat buttholes touch every surface they sit on?
Oh, my God.
Thanks to Caden, you no longer have to wonder if the butthole itself is making contact. The curious 6th grader is homeschooled and well-versed in the scientific method thanks to his mother's PhD in animal behavior with a concentration in feline behavior. And since they own cats, the science experiment was pretty straightforward. To complete the experiment, Henry and his mom, Carrie, bought non-toxic lipstick and applied it to each of their cats' anuses.
There you go.
Then the cats were given commands.
I saw a porn movie like that.
Sit, wait, lie down, and jump up. Both cats have been trained since kittenhood with a variety of commands, so they also know how to high five, spin around, and speak. They were compensated with lots of praise, pets, and their favorite treats, and the lipstick was removed with a baby wipe once they collected the data in just under 10 minutes. So the results are, it turns out that No, cat buttholes do not touch every surface that cats sit on.
I could have answered that.
Really? Because when my cat was sick towards the end of his life, and he would have to go to the bathroom, he would get diarrhea, and we used to call it a poop stamp. He'd leave a poop stamp on all the windowsills when he would sit down.
Steve, have you done a similar experiment?
I have actually had a lot of cat ass experience over the past week and a half with diarrhea and constipation problems, and I noted that the curve of the tail off the back keeps the anus elevated just a bit.
Yeah, dude, I did a similar thing, but I'm learning. I probably shouldn't have put the lipstick on my lips first and then put it on the cat's anus. I wasn't even thinking.
The application process.
Yeah.
You were off the mark from the get-go. Caden's experiment covered long-haired, short-haired, and medium-haired cats. His results and general findings: long and medium-haired cats' buttholes made no contact with soft or hard surfaces at all.
Why does this lipstick taste so bad?
Short-haired cats made no contact on hard surfaces, but we did see evidence, he said, of a slight smear on the soft bedding surface.
Okay.
Conclusion: if you have a short-haired cat and they may be lying on a pile of laundry, an unmade bed, or other soft, uneven surfaces, then their butthole may touch those surfaces. But for the most part, they don't.
We were giving this sort of laxative to our cat, Mia, small cat, waiting for like a couple of days for her to take a dump. When she finally did, it looked like a torpedo. It was
Really?
unbelievable.
Wow.
I almost was going to take a picture of it, but I didn't want to embarrass her.
But it is some surfaces, right?
Some, on rare occasions, yes,
Okay.
it may happen. So, all right, in Tokyo, Takanobu Nishimoto started an, quote, old guy rental service 13 years ago.
Love it.
To help older men feel more valued. And people can rent these old men for around $7 an hour. At first, some thought it was strange or even creepy, but over time, the service has become more accepted. And now many people use it to talk, get advice, or just spend time with someone.
Put these boxing gloves on.
Nishimoto,
I'm going to beat your ass.
who is also a fashion consultant, wanted to change how society sees older men because he believes that they have a lot to offer. The service has helped many older men feel useful again, and some have even become popular with regular clients.
Do you think an older man's anus touches every surface?
No, but his balls do.
Yeah, absolutely.
People rent them for different reasons, like needing someone to listen, help with tasks, or to just hang out. Apparently,
You're very boring.
It's working very well.
I was at the gym last week, Preston, and I was kind of feeling it a little bit. So in the locker room, I went to take a picture of me flexing my arm, right? So I'm getting this picture ready, and just before I'm about to snap it, I realize that over my right shoulder is a total full-on butthole and balls hanging of a guy.
Stop.
I almost took a picture of this dude.
By the way, is it not? Don't most gyms
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. And
you're not supposed to take pictures in the bathroom.
No, but people do. And and I was definitely feeling it. Thank God I noticed that, because at the last second I was like, oh my God, there's balls.
All right, and that's our last Bizarre File story, by the way. All right, I'm going to remind you of our Preston Steve 20 Money keyword. It is VOTE, V-O-T-E. You have until 25 minutes after the hour, so another 15 minutes left on the running clock. You can enter that through the MMR app or WMMR.com. Of course, you can text to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. So do that now. The word is VOTE. We're going to take a break a little bit later on this morning. Will Forte will be joining us. Stay there. We'll be right back.
Yeah. What's medium priority, officer?
Things like maybe domestic that's not in progress, a fight not in progress, or something like that, a verbal altercation, things like that.
What about like a security alarm?
Those are most of the time are reduced speed calls where we don't use our lights. You would get hundreds of those a week.
Oh yeah. How often do you get the question of do you have a quota for writing speeding tickets?
Every day.
And do you have a quota?
That's absolutely illegal.
Right. All right.
Quota.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Take care. Thanks for the call.
That's a good one. I mean, we've all seen it. And I'm like, well, where's that cop going?
Right, yeah. What's that? Well, I want one of those.
Probably going someplace to write up quota tickets.
Here is a text says, teachers work on average between 45 and 60 hours a week, depending on their position, but do not get paid overtime. We also don't get paid to not work over the summer. We get paid for 10 months, or we can choose to spread that out over 12 months, resulting in smaller but more frequent paychecks.
So how does that work? So they get one flat fee, and they can opt to take that summer break, or they can just get a continuous check at a lower rate of pay.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if your salary, let's just say, is $60,000, you can choose to get that paid over 10 months.
Or 12 months.
Or 12 months.
Can you choose to get it paid over 1 week?
All right, let me go to some other callers with your industry. This is what people in your industry know, but people who are not in your industry, you feel should know. I'm going to go to Chris, who is a mover. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. What's going on?
Yo, bud. Want to hear your story. What's up, bud?
Yeah, so being in the moving industry, every customer always assumes that they can see and know what fits through what doors and what holes.
Okay.
And pretty much every time I'm forced to carry whatever object up, and it never fits.
So everyone, and I think you're probably right, because I end up being sort of the furniture mule for a lot of friends, moving stuff, and you're exactly right. And you over time, you build up a knowledge of, I can see this, I can see that, it's not going to work, but everyone still thinks, hey, at least give it a try, right?
Yeah, I guess.
No matter what it does to your back or whatever, just go for it.
All right, Chris. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Guys.
That's a hard-working gig right
Absolutely,
there.
man.
I will go next to Jake. Hey, Jake, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you. Jake here, it says you're a music therapist.
Yes. So, I mean, honestly, I feel like a lot of people probably don't even know that that's a career.
Yeah.
The people that do sometimes assume that, like, oh, you make a playlist and put it on an iPod. That's pretty cool. No, that's not at all what I do. No, I go in with my guitar, or I got a piano. I work mainly now with children, and I'm working on communication goals. So it's a very real career that a lot of people probably just don't even know about.
Yep.
Wanted to give a little plug to it.
So do you? And so we have a friend of the show. He and his daughters, Michael and his daughters, Emma, and she is. She's using music as therapy, and it seems to be yielding incredible results. Do you find that, Jake?
Absolutely. The kids that I work with now just absolutely come alive. Like some of these kids can't really talk or communicate otherwise, and music provides them with a way to express themselves and just have a great time and socialize with their friends, all that good stuff.
So we've often heard it said, and I've seen it in practice, where people who have a stutter, if they sing or if they use music, can get over that. Is there a similar process? Does that work as well with people on the spectrum?
Absolutely. It's like a way of kind of using meter to like regulate speech and all that kind of good stuff. It's just it's really, really cool. And my
awesome.
Girlfriend's actually my girlfriend's a speech therapist, so we love to trade tricks back and forth.
Oh, very cool. Well, you do good work. You do noble work.
All right. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks,
so these are things you think people should know about your industry. I like this one. This says, I work in biomedical research. The most frustrating thing is that people seem to think that there's one cure for cancer and that the government or big pharma are hiding it. That is such an ignorant statement. Cancer is a collection of hundreds of diseases. Do you really think it is possible to have one cure for hundreds of diseases?
Do you know people who think that?
Why can't they find a cure for cancer? I mean, that's a standard phrase.
Yeah.
We also know
it goes on to say, hang on a second, Casey. It says, I work in biomedical. Oh, that's the same thing over and over. All right, go ahead, Casey.
So I was going to say, obviously we know that big pharma makes big money, and
there's some issues there.
But my brother is a chemist, and there is also a lot of wasted money, right? So my brother was researching and trying to come up with literally a cure for cancer, and they would spend months, if not years, on reactions, and then they would get to that final testing stage, and it turns out it didn't work, and everything that they did is scrapped, and they have to start from square one, and that is happening every day, all over the country. And so there's a lot of wasted money. And I don't want to say wasted money, but there's a lot of, wasted
you also
research.
have office parties and things. that they require a lot, too, like pizza parties. Yeah. No, a cure for a cancer, right? A type of cancer.
Yeah. Yes. And have they cured cancers along the way? Are the ones that used to exist but don't any longer that they have cures for?
Like Dr. Mike says, we're living in amazing times right now.
So they
cancer
do?
treatment. Well, I mean, like he says, and Michael say, no one need ever die of thyroid cancer. No one need ever die of prostate cancer.
Right.
You know, and a lot of that is also early detection.
I'm going to go next to Jesus, a truck driver. Jesus, good morning.
Oh my goodness, I love that.
What's up, man?
All right, as a truck driver, there's two things.
Yeah.
These cars, they tend to switch lanes without signaling in front of you and braking. We haul 80,000 pounds. We cannot stop.
Yes.
On the dot. And there were countless times that I almost hit other cars because of situations like that.
Jesus, in a fully loaded truck, how long does it take you to come to a full stop if you're traveling at 40 miles an hour?
For 45, I'm going to say 55 miles an hour, like on a turnpike, for example, where there's hardly any vehicles.
Right.
Half a football field.
Wow. Some people don't realize that.
Yeah.
Also, like I feel like I get nervous with truck drivers. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, can I get over? Like,
So we all know trucks don't have that acceleration that cars do, but what you might not be thinking about is the stopping ability.
Right.
So that's what Jesus wants people to know.
Exactly.
They can't.
And that's one more thing. The right side of the cab, there's a huge blind spot.
Yep.
And cars tend to ride on that side, and sometimes I cannot see vehicles on that side in my mirrors, and I have so many mirrors.
Right. And I've read signs on trucks that say if you can't see my mirrors, I can't see you.
Can't see you.
Absolutely.
So
exactly.
That's what I always try to keep in mind. If I'm near a truck and I can't see the mirror, I try to get in a position where if I'm going to stay in that zone, that they can at least I can see a mirror so they can see me.
Jesus, have you ever provided cover for someone trying to elude Smokey and they will drive under the truck and just hide out there? Like in Smokey and the Bandit? You ever do that?
he's like,
I guess not.
No.
So that the movies must have lied to us.
Wait, and Jesus, last question. A truck driver once told me, like, if we're gonna pass the truck, like, do it. Just go past.
Yeah.
Don't linger
Yes.
anywhere there.
Yeah.
Just pass them.
Just pass.
Yeah.
I even have cars like they linger right on my trailer. Don't do that. Goodness. I be having my signal on. I be wanting to switch lanes.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they want to speed up and stay in the middle of my trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, just clear. Get out of the way.
Just go.
Move.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Agreed. So let's say the truck is doing 60 miles an hour. You don't want to go any faster than 60 miles an hour. You're with that truck right next to it. Live a little. Go crazy. Bump it up to 65 for about 30 seconds. Pull over into their lane and then temper back to 60, and you guys will be going the same speed, and that left lane is now clear.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
By the way, that's the law in Jersey. You're only supposed to use that left lane for passing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Most places are that way for sure. All right, let me read a couple of others. I know we have a ton of calls on the line. Here's one that says, lifeguard, I am not a babysitter. It is your job as a parent to watch your kid when swimming, and if they can't swim, you have to be in the water within 5 feet of them at all times.
If there's an emergency, the lifeguards will help.
Another one, librarian. Public libraries are not safe places to drop off your kids. It's not the books that are unsafe, it's the other patrons and the fact that librarians are not babysitters. Here you go. Here's another thing that people in their industry understand, but the general public doesn't grasp. A zoo worker says, yes, the animal is in the exhibit. Sometimes you have to look a little bit longer than 8 seconds in order to see it.
Well, a lot of them also have.
I've stood there and gone, where is it?
There's nothing in there.
And then you'll see like the cheetah behind a tree. You'll see a tail popping out. It's like, oh no, I came on the wrong day.
Here's from a designer. It says, if you want to fit a portrait image into a landscape canvas, you either have to crop it, leave a black or white border, or empty space left or right, or distort it, which is almost always a bad idea. On a regular occurrence, clients are unhappy with either of these options, and they just want me to somehow make it fit. I don't know about all that.
What would you say is the biggest misconception about, say, during the day on radio that people listening think that
okay,
that
here's
happens?
the deal. There's no secret way to win a contest, okay? Like, it's at the discretion of whoever is on the air, of what number caller they take, when they ask for you to call in, when they even start answering the calls after they tell you to call in. There's no special line that gets you here quicker. You don't need to wait 10 seconds before you start dialing. You don't need to dial right a little bit beforehand. It is completely arbitrary. There is no way.
No,
So
and
I've had people throughout my career ask me, how do I win a contest? It's like, dude, it is luck of the draw. That's all there is to
That's
it.
exactly true. And yet, bizarrely, there are certain areas that will get in easier, when we have a contest. It's just the luck of the draw.
Here's one from a dentist, and they simply say, flossing actually helps.
Yeah, it does.
You should know.
I've been flossing for a few years now, and ever since I started flossing, I've had. Well, I don't want to jinx anything, but
Yeah, no, dude. I used to. I would have be brushing my teeth and spit it out, and blood would be in there. And I'm like, I talked. This is years and years and years ago. I asked my dentist. They're like, "You're not? Are you flossing? No.
Oh.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Gingivitis. Floss, and that will stop happening. And it sure enough did.
And dentists and dental hygienists can tell when you don't. So
because there's plaque buildup
right?
in there.
But if you're trying to hide it, and there's just no point in lying to them, saying, "Yeah, I floss every day," and if you don't, they'll know.
I've been flossing, I think, since I had teeth.
Yeah, well, my toothbrush is also a water pick simultaneously. So as I'm brushing my teeth, it's a water pick.
Steve, I got that one for Jace. Awesome.
All right, let me go.
It's loud as hell, though.
I'm going to go to Alex. Hey, Alex. Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry for bothering you at work.
Nah, we're happy. What's your line of work?
So I am a vet technician, and one thing that I really wish people would understand is that vet med is at an all-time low with staffing shortages. Since the pandemic started and we went curbside, everyone wants to get their pets in. Everyone adopted a lot of animals. We are trying to see them, but if Fluffy has...
3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kathy. So I think we're going to play a game.
Game?
I think we're going to play a game, yeah. In honor of... the clip that we played yesterday, and Jimmy Kimmel had these ladies on his show last night. The two ladies from Queensland, Australia, who are twins and who apparently speak at the same time. I don't know if they do this all the time.
It appears that they do. So the best thing that ever happened to these two was the attempted carjacking.
That's true. And so we are going to play our game, Double Talk Trivia.
Yes.
And we've played this before. In fact, we've done it at the Christmas Miracle broadcast. Where I will ask you a very simple trivia question, yet Steve is going to try to say, without knowing what I'm asking you, he's going to try to say what I'm saying at the exact same time. Just like that. Yes.
Yeah. But see, and my job is to gibberish it up.
Okay.
To hide, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To hide as you're saying it. So
Well, you don't have to do it on purpose.
I'm saying that. Yeah. So I'm
exactly.
I don't know what you're saying.
It's going to make it hard.
Yeah, it's going to make it hard.
So we will do that in a moment. And if you are interested in playing that game, and by the way, Casey, we are giving away movie passes, right?
Yep, we have pairs of passes for our screening of The Thunderbolts next Wednesday, April 30th in IMAX.
And that will be the Ringo at the not the Ringo,
the Ringo Theater.
The Regal in King of Prussia. And it's brought to you by Marvel Studios Thunderbolt. So if you don't know and by the way, text word Zoom to 610-660-9333. We'll send you the link. Click on that if you want to play. We'll get you in line. Just to refresh what the kickoff was for this. This is the clip of the ladies talking about this incident that happened.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum. And he went up there and he was coming back down towards us. And he goes, run, he's got a gun. and our heart started to pound. And I said, well, Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there. But apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face.
It's pretty wild, man. I mean, they're in complete simpatico. And we're watching different clips, and the clips of them now in their history are making the rounds. They always dress the same. This is something that they celebrate, but this is something that they're just genetically capable of doing.
So we're going to get our contestants on the line. In the meantime, a couple other things to mention. I have a Shart Out to do while we're waiting to get our contestants lined up. This says, hey, Preston and Steve, can you please throw a birthday Shart Out to my boyfriend, Dylan. He turns 33 on April 22nd. I missed it by a day. Sorry about that. Xenia, is that how you say her name? Or Xenia, that's her name. She said he'd listen to you guys religiously. He'd probably miss the birth of his child if it interfered with the morning show.
Well, I appreciate that.
And speaking of which, he's about to be a dad to a baby girl in exactly 1 month. So this is his last birthday before Sharts get real, literally. Thanks for being the soundtrack to his last days of sanity. And that's from Xenia. Zania Leschenko. So here is the Shart Out. And that is for Dylan, and good luck to you, sir. And also, Kathy had something she wanted to mention before we go to our first contestant.
Yeah,
What was that?
I'm actually airing a special report on her story. It starts this weekend. It's actually a 2-part report, and it's called Weight Loss Revolution, The Truth About GLP-1 Medications. Those are the weight loss medications.
Yes.
So it's divided into 2 parts. Part 1 airs this Sunday morning here at WMMR at 7 a.m. on her story. I talked to 3 patients who experienced the weight loss medications. There's very different opinions, people who had a lot of success and then some who had negative side effects that outweighed the weight loss. And so they had to go off of the medications. And then part 2 will air the following Sunday. And I'm going to talk to 3 different medical experts. Dr. Amaro, who works in obesity medicine, a functional medicine doctor, Dr. Stade, and then Dr. Anderson, a gynecologist who touches on using the medications during menopause and perimenopause. And we talk about how the medications work, why people are experiencing side effects, why some are having such success, and kind of everything in between.
Interesting.
And the difference for everybody. Yeah, so it's the next 2 Sundays on her story, 7 a.m. here at WMMR, and then also WMMR.com/her story, where the podcast will be posted after it airs.
Excellent. All right. Well, I think we're ready to try this out.
Yeah.
Double Talk Trivia is the name of the game. And we're going to get some contestants on the line to play along with us. And like I said, we are going to give away those tickets to see Thunderbolts April 30th at 7 o'clock at the Regal in King of Prussia. Casey, I believe, is going to be at that screening, right?
Damn straight.
All right. We have our first contestant on the line, and it's Mike, who we're checking in with. Hey, Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Gadzooks.
Gadzooks to you. All right, Mike, Double Talk Trivia. Do you understand how the concept works?
Give it to me one more time. I was signing on while you guys were explaining.
It's all good, my man.
Do you want to do a demo?
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what? Here is a. I'm going to ask you a trivia question, and Steve is going to try to say the same thing that I'm saying at the same time, and you have to answer the question.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
He's got some rockin' bokeh behind him as well. Look at the blur in his car. I love it. The settings are amazing.
All right, here we go, Mike. Let's begin. What's the name of the company that published the Mario Kart video game?
Nintendo.
Yes!
Run, he's got a gun.
Mike's a winner.
All right, Mike.
Hang on, buddy.
Mike, you just won yourself a pair of tickets to join me for an advanced screening of the Thunderbolts on April 30th at 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Regal in King of Prussia, and is brought to you by Marvel Studios. Thunderbolts, they're not super. They're not heroes. They're not giving up. Only in theaters on May 2nd.
Not Nintendo, but did you order the Indiana Jones video game?
I've been playing it.
Yeah, how do you like it?
It's a little slow.
Oh, is it?
Well, I mean, from what I have been playing.
Okay.
But I'm progressing, and it's getting a little bit better. There's a lot of problem solving and stuff, which is cool.
Okay, I downloaded it. I've yet to play it.
The fight sequences, I got to get used to it. But I think I'm going to end up loving it in the long run. Because I spent about an hour playing it the other day and realized that I didn't even realize I'd been playing it for an hour. All right, our next contestant is on board. Oh, it's Sammy Vile.
Yay!
Who is joining us, and he's actually got the head of Johnny Five from the Cardboard Classic behind him and his Los Locos shirt. How you doing, Sammy?
Good to see you.
Good to see
Carl. All right. You ready to play, brother?
Yep.
All right, here we go, Sammy. Who assassinated Abraham Lincoln?
Oh, come on.
John Wilkes Booth.
That is correct, yes. Told you, they're very easy questions.
I couldn't even. I couldn't get up my confusion.
All right, here's what we got for you, Sammy.
All right.
Carl, good to see you.
All right, Sammy, you just won a pair of tickets to join me for an advanced screening of Thunderbolts. So now you get to join me and Sammy Vile on April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Regal in King of Prussia. This is brought to you by Marvel Studios. Thunderbolts, they're not super, they're not heroes, they're not giving up. Only in theaters on May 2nd.
By the way, Sammy, how'd that gig turn out that I plugged really heavily for you?
Did we lose him?
Oh, we lost him. That's all right.
Son of a bitch.
Well, he's got another gig coming up.
He's back.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, yeah. Sammy, how'd that gig go for you, the Radiohead
it was
gig?
great. We sold out the place, dude. Thank you so much for promoting it for us.
You got
great.
it.
And you have another one coming up. It's a mashup between Incubus and who else?
Oh, so I'm in another tribute band called Undone. We're a Weezer tribute. We're playing at the Queen on this Saturday. Starts at 7:30. There's a DJ at 7:30. We go on at 8. Incubus band's on at 9:30. They're called Science Fiction.
And
nice.
Sammy, I just read this morning that your date to the Thunderbolts on Monday night is going to be me. So that's pretty exciting, too.
Nice. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, and something else that's exciting. I'll see Kathy at Kathy's Cuts to get rid of this band.
Signed up.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
All right, Sammy, we'll see you then. Take care, brother.
Later.
Good man.
We'll get another contestant up to play Double Talk Trivia.
Run, he's got a gun.
And we will give away more
that.
movie passes to the Thunderbolts. Up next is Timmy. Timmy.
Hey,
How you doing, my man?
can I sing the theme song? Preston and Steve's Double Talk Trivia.
I love it.
I like that.
That's perfect. All right, that is our new theme song. All right, here we go. You ready, Timmy?
I'm ready.
All right. The 1987 John Hughes film Ferris Bueller's Day Off was filmed in which city?
Oh man, I couldn't tell what you said.
It worked. It worked.
With what little
Can you
clues?
repeat the question?
No.
No.
I mean,
You want me to repeat
you
it?
probably
I mean,
could.
But now Steve knows it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
you
the
can't.
thing.
You can't.
Yeah. So he
Steve
doesn't.
can mess it up worse.
Can I give him a hint?
Okay.
All right. The answer to this question is a city in this country.
A city in this country.
You gotta have heard some of that question.
Yeah.
What
where
did you
it
hear a
was
name?
filmed, I assume.
Did you hear a name?
Yeah. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
There you go.
It's in Chicago.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Was that okay? Did it?
We got it. No?
Yeah, I guess. All right, Timmy. We're going to give you the tickets to go
All right.
and see
Timmy,
Thunderbolts.
you have a pair of tickets to join me and Sammy Vile and Nick McElwain for an advanced screening of Thunderbolts on April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Regal in King of Prussia. Brought to you by Marvel Studios. Thunderbolts are not super, they're not heroes, and they're not giving up. Only in theaters on May 2nd.
All right, we need more contestants to line up. Text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333 if you would like to play. Again, text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333 if you would like to play. We will send you this link. You click on the link, and then we'll get you in line to play.
So the phenomenal Rodney Bird has indicated that we're going to at least take receivership of the new phone components by tomorrow.
Oh, yay.
So we'll see if that happens. Rodney's the man.
In the meantime, we got Dan who's joining us next. Hey, Dan, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys. You guys rock.
Thank you, sir. All right, we are playing Double Talk Trivia. You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Where is the Golden Gate Bridge located?
Over that.
Oh, man, you got me on that one.
No, you didn't hear it?
That's why it's a hard game. I'll give you a hint that Casey gave a moment ago. It's a city in the United States.
Yeah.
There's only a couple.
Only a couple with bridges, I guess. I didn't really hear the name of the bridge, but let's just shoot a guess, I guess. Philadelphia?
No. It was where's the Golden Gate Bridge located? And you know that answer, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir. San Francisco.
All right, Dan. Sorry, buddy.
That's fun to say.
Not everybody can win. This is a hard game, and we have to have a level of difficulty. Some people win, some people
the way
lose.
we roll.
All right, we'll get our next.
Life is cruel.
Our next Zoomer up. It's Anthony. Yo, Anthony.
What up, Preston? How are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing today?
Not too bad.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
we are playing Double Talk Trivia. And here's your question. In a website browser address bar, what does www stand for?
That would be the World Wide Web.
Yeah. That is absolutely correct, yes. All right, Case.
All right, Anthony, you want a pair of tickets to join me and Sammy Vile and Nick McElwain for an advanced screening of Thunderbolts on April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Regal King of Prussia, brought to you by Marvel Studios. Thunderbolts is only in theaters on May 2nd.
All right, buddy.
That's an IMAX, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see. We have, how many have we given away so far?
So far, 4.
All right, we got more to give away. Next up is John. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
Morning.
Morning, bro. All right, John, play Double Talk Trivia. You ready? All right. What, me? All right, here we go. Here's your trivia question. In Greek mythology, who
was
had
Hercules'
snakes
home mountain?
Who had snakes for hair and could turn people into stone if they looked at her?
That's Medusa.
You got it right.
All right, John, you also won a pair of tickets for an advanced screening of the Thunderbolts on April 30th. That's next Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the Regal King of Prussia, brought to you by Marvel Studios, only in theaters on May 2nd.
Hang on, buddy. We're going to set you up.
Run, he's got a gun.
I love it. We are playing Double Talk Trivia in honor of these two twins that are making their rounds in viral fame, speaking at the same time. All right, up next.
What the hell's going on?
We have Scott, I believe. Wait, hang on. Marissa's telling
There we go.
Marissa's telling me to hold on. Hey, Scott, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. And you guys?
We're doing wonderful, man. Thanks for joining us this morning. You ready to play?
I hope so.
All right,
here we go.
Double Talk Trivia. Here it is. In which state did the Salem witch trials take place?
That would be Massachusetts.
All right, Case, what do we have for him?
Hang on a second.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Pair passes the Thunderbolts.
I see what you wanted to do.
Yeah, but for some reason it's not there anymore, and everything just froze.
All right.
Oh, no.
God.
Scott is wearing a State Farm insurance shirt.
Oh.
Clearly, he works there, and Casey had the State Farm
Damn it.
insurance ready.
Like a good neighbor.
State
Farm is there.
Scott, that was just for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Hang on. We'll
You too.
make sure you set you up with that. If you're interested in playing Double Talk Trivia, text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. We'll get you lined up and ready. Marissa is in our studio. She's trying to fix our audio equipment that's having some issues right now. But in the meantime, we will go to Peter next. Yo, Pete.
Sorry to bother you guys at work.
It's all good, buddy. We are playing Double Talk Trivia, and we have a question for you if you are ready.
Yes, sirs.
All right, here we go. In the movie Annie, what is the name of her dog?
All right, so this might be on point or this might be totally at left field. Daddy Warbucks?
No.
Oh, man.
I asked what was the name of her dog.
Oh.
And would you have known that?
Either.
No, you wouldn't have known that. It's Sandy. By the way, is the name of the dog. Yeah.
Not Shauna.
Sandy.
Top flight.
Telling you, all cylinders are firing today. All right, we will go to Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel. We are playing Double Talk Trivia. Double Talk Trivia. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Here's your question. How many stars are
the
there
universe
on the American
solar
flag?
system?
Oh, no. Oh, my husband's going to kill me. I have no idea.
Did you hear the question?
How many stars are on the American flag?
You should have went
All
with
right.
no. I didn't hear the question.
No, I didn't hear the question.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Go with that, Rachel.
All right,
Rachel. No, we're not letting her. Come on, Rachel. Make a guess. I'm mad at you.
13.
Oh, well.
I'm
At
still
one
mad
point,
at you.
well,
There
technically,
was.
yes, there are. I didn't say in total, did I?
Well,
hey, let me just ask you, Rachel. How many states are there in America?
52.
Oh,
no.
my God.
Get off.
No, let's be teachers.
There's
Nick,
50, and then there's 2
Teach her.
territories.
Well, there's Puerto Rico.
And D.C., but on the flag, we have 50 stars to represent 50 states.
I'm glad
And
she didn't
there's
win.
your history lesson today.
I thought Rachel was going to get it.
All right, thank you, Rach.
Hey, you learn stuff on this show, guys, and
some days.
sometimes.
Yeah.
We'll talk to what?
What? No, seriously. What?
I said you learn stuff on the show, and sometimes the things you learn are very, very easy things that second graders know.
I heard somebody say dumb bitch.
I did
Oh,
not.
no, absolutely not.
Never.
Not
That was Kathy.
That was me.
That's why I went, what? All right. Next up, we have Mark, I believe. Hey, Mark, you there?
I'm here. I just had 3 testicles.
All right. You ready to play Double Talk Trivia, Mark?
Let's rock.
All right, here we go. What is the name of the red-headed mermaid in The Little Mermaid?
Oh, hit the slap button. Ariel.
That's correct. All right, you're going to get the tickets to the screening as well, my man. Hang on.
See, I try to border collie the question away once I know where we're going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not really trying to copy
No, I'm
what
trying
I'm saying?
to, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I want to confuse them instead of just ask the same question you're asking.
Okay, we'll get our next contestant on the line, and then we will have them up. Do we need more, Marissa? All right, no, we're good to go. All right, so we have Gregory. Hey, Gregory.
Good morning. Yes, good morning.
Morning, bud. All right, Double Talk Trivia. You ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's your question.
All right.
What is the name of the first woman pilot to fly across the Atlantic Ocean?
Amelia Earhart.
That is correct. Absolutely. Got it right. We got another winner.
Thank you. Thank
No
you.
problem.
Wonderful.
All right, you're going to get to go see the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, on April 30th,
Sounds
7
good.
p.m. Regal King of Prussia in theaters on May 2nd.
How about
All
that?
right.
By the way, they thought they had found, every 5 or 6 years they think they found the wreckage.
Oh, yeah.
And then they thought they really had it this time. They didn't have it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we'll get another contestant. This one happens to be John. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. All right, we're going to play Double Talk Trivia. Who's there with you? Who's your puppy?
This is Luna. She's 8 months old.
Aww. Cutie. All right, she like a spaniel of some type?
She's a Cavalier King Charles. Yes.
Cute dog.
Put some lipstick on her anus.
Yeah, see if it touches things.
I just ordered some from Amazon, so we're good. Yeah.
You're good to go.
All right, John.
Here we go.
Here's your question. What boy band sings the song I Want It That Way?
I'm going to say In Sync.
No. Backstreet's back, man.
All
Oh, that would not have gotten
Yeah,
that one.
Backstreet Boys. All right, well, thanks anyway. You and your pup have a nice day, buddy.
He's got NSYNC
Thank you.
posters
Bye-bye.
behind him, Preston.
All right, let's see. We have time for another one or two. Yeah, we're going to have to break shortly here, so.
We only have 2 more to give away anyway.
All right, that's fine. Our next contestant is Matt. Yeah, what's up, Matt?
Good morning. I got my son with me, too. We're on our way to school.
Yeah, buddy. What's your name, man?
Gavin.
Nice to meet you. You going to have a world-class mustache like your dad someday?
No.
No.
A man can dream.
Yeah. All right, let's play the game. You ready, Matt?
Yes.
Here we go.
All right. What is the name of the city that SpongeBob SquarePants lives in?
Bikini Bottom.
Dude, the sun
Nailed
just
it.
took it.
Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, he got it.
Well, Matt,
It broke up.
Matt, you are going to take your son Gavin to see the Thunderbolts with me and Sammy Vile and Nick McElwain on April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Regal King of Prussia. And Marvel Studios Thunderbolts is in theaters on May 2nd.
Excellent.
Thank
All right,
you, guys.
You got it, buddy. All right, we have time for one more.
Yep.
One more. We have one pair of tickets left, and our final contestant, maybe our final contestant, if they get it wrong, we might have to do it. I don't know. We'll see. Is Shane. Hey, Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right,
Shane, you look like you're doing a cooking show.
Yeah.
That's a nice kitchen,
Yeah.
man.
I was eating breakfast.
He's got his pancakes.
He's got a hood over the stove and everything.
looks
Yeah,
good.
solid, man.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Final one. And Steve, I'm going to alert you. There's another singing. This is another singing.
then I shall sing. Thank you.
If you can figure out what I'm singing.
I will try.
All right, here we go. Matt. Or Shane. Matt was last.
Maine.
All right. Who sings the iconic song, Hit Me Baby One More Time?
Britney Spears.
Yes! And nice job, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, Shane, we got the tickets for you, Case.
Yes, it's going to be the Thunderbolts April 30th at 7 p.m. in IMAX at the Regal King of Prussia. Is brought to you by Marvel Studios. Thunderbolts only in theaters on May 2nd.
Run. He's got a gun.
All right, hang on, buddy. We'll get your info. So that's a run of Double Talk Trivia.
I love it.
I wonder if the twins, the Aussie twins, will be asked to say, come play with us, Danny.
Yes.
Right? You'd have to.
And wouldn't you, like, at this point, have them on, like for a cameo on Saturday Night Live to say live from New York, it's Saturday night or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to start grabbing them for that stuff.
They're a legit viral entity. I mean, to me, they trounce Hawk to a girl.
I would think so. Yes. All right. Did you want to say
Just want to give a shout out to Bill Colarulo, who works down the hall. I'm a big fan of his. He's listening right now, and he's like, dude, Double Talk Trivia is genius.
Oh,
He
really?
love this. Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that, brother. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second, and our buddy Will Forte is going to be joining us, and we have another shot at winning $1,000 this morning. Don't forget about that. It is the Preston Steve 20 money. Coming back in a moment. Stay with us.
Infection, if it takes 3 weeks for an appointment, that's the best we can do for you.
Okay.
So you guys are just overloaded and overworked.
Overloaded and overworked.
All right, what about when you're not overloaded and overworked? What is something that people need to know about your industry?
An ear infection is not an emergency.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Kath?
I have one. So I have a friend who worked for the Sixers and worked in the sports industry her whole life. And she said, no, I don't just work the games. I work all day, and then I work at night during the games as well.
Right. There you go. I like this one. It says, this is from an audio engineer. It says, not every problem with audio is feedback. Feedback is when the sound goes out of the speakers and back through the microphone and loops around and around. Ground hum is not feedback. Noise is not feedback. Echo off the wall is not feedback. And then this one I love. They said, and speak up, people. The microphone isn't magic. You need to be heard, which is true. You guys all know. If you're at an event and somebody's holding the microphone down at their waist,
bring it up,
or barely speaking into the mic, you still need to project on a microphone.
Why do people do that?
I don't know.
Well,
I think they're not used to hearing their own voice.
And also, people who haven't spoken on microphones a lot don't know the technique. That's understandable. Not everyone is hooked up to a PA all day.
Let me go to Tracy. Hi, Tracy.
Hi, guys. How are you this morning?
We're awesome. What do you do, Tracy?
I work for unemployment.
Unemployment.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that unemployment is like a fun net. Oh, if I work 2-3 years and I don't like my job, I can quit and get paid. And unfortunately, unemployment is legit an insurance like your car insurance.
Okay.
So if you quit your job because you say, oh, I just didn't like my boss, I can pretty much tell you you're going to be denied.
You're not. You have to be fired, or there has to be something like that. You just simply can't say, I'm going to take some time off.
And then I'll get the ones who have entered the workforce like 2 years ago, and they're like, but I paid all that money into unemployment. You paid $260 into unemployment in 2 years. If you want your $260, we'll give it to you. But, well, we weren't really, but that $10,000 you see that your claim may be, that's because we're charging your employer. So you have to have a actual reason that is under the law that states, okay, we can pay you out of this fund because you deserve it.
And that is usually, most often, termination, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for the heads up, Tracy. Appreciate it. All right. Well, it's really interesting. We have a load of great calls, and we don't have time to go to them because we have to go. We got to go on Fox Good Day this morning, so we got to do that. But it's interesting that we all have these things that we do for a living, and especially if you're in a job where you have regular customers and so on, that maybe they don't quite get exactly. Well, that little thing that everybody should know but don't understand. But thanks for sharing. We appreciate it. We should create a place where people can
at least post,
mention these things because there's a lot out there. So, but anyhow, thank you for your calls. We appreciate it. We got to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. We are going to go live on Fox Good Day, and we are going to get to the Bizarre File when we return. So stay with us. We won't be gone long. What clip is this? What clam chowder clip is this movie from?
Of all the many.
What clam chowder? What movie is this clam chowder clip? Dude, I had the toughest night sleeping last night.
Why?
Didn't drink, hadn't been drinking or nothing, man. I just feel like that's a Gary Lauer impression. But anyhow.
Maybe you should have drank.
Did you have some bad clam chowder last night?
I may have. Here's the clip for you.
I'll have the clam chowder, the fried chicken with the baked potato with everything, and a chocolate chiffon pie.
Clean food, please. In that case, sir, may I advise against the lady eating the clam chowder? No clam chowder, thank you.
All right, let's go to Derek and see if he knows. Derek, do you know what movie that's from?
Great
morning. It's Fight Club.
Fight Club is correct. Nice job, Derek. I want you to hang on the line. You are going to go to the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks for the Philly Home and Garden Show, which is this weekend. And hang on the line. By the way, you can save on tickets at phillyhomeandgarden.com. Discount courtesy of Xfinity. Little known, or maybe it's known to everybody but me, but the waiter in that scene, that's Ed Kowalczyk of the band Live.
Hey. You can see with this still, yeah.
Yeah. That's very cool.
How cool is Helena Bonham Carter, man?
Oh, she's the best.
so good. And then we were talking about the Harry Potter reunion. She was phenomenal and funny and great.
She kept her teeth.
Yeah, she did. She kept her teeth in the roll, yeah.
By the way, speaking of clam chowder, I had some exceptional clam chowder this past weekend. I went to Florida to visit my mom and sister, and there's this restaurant called Leverox there. And I get clam chowder only when I know it's going to be good clam chowder. It's fantastic.
Do I need to revisit clam chowder? I have not been a fan for years.
I don't know if you like the texture. Because you're not like.
Are there real chunks of clam?
There's clam. I mean, in
not
good
huge chunks.
Which to me
Usually
is
a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like chicken noodle soup. You know, there's just a little bit of chicken in it.
Yes.
If
You
it's
know?
done right.
Chicken
The
noodle
place-
soup with snot.
The place that we went to
Snot soup, please?
Chicago. What was the name of that place?
The fancy beef place?
Yeah.
Gibson's.
Welcome to the fancy beef place.
Yeah.
Steak
Hey,
was the word I was looking
guess
for.
what? We clean the silverware.
What was the name?
It was Gibson's.
Gibson's.
That
Yeah.
was the second blessed?
Yeah.
Have a blessed meal.
Have a blessed New England clam chowder. Second best New England clam chowder I ever had. Best was ever at Abe and Louie's in Boston.
In Boston, yeah. And Kathy, clams aren't snot. That's
Steve said it. That's why I was saying it's
that's
like chicken
oysters.
Noodle, chicken
Oysters
noodle
are
soup
snot.
with
Yeah,
snot.
clams are a little bit
More
better.
like a full blown loogie.
But clams are kind of snotty as well.
When they're
they're
cooked
like-
in clam chowder, they're a little more firm.
Yeah, the
I'll tell you what, Dr. Mike has started to try to get me into the like oysters and stuff like that, and that the bottoms up event, they had like top oyster places, and so I guess he recommended just kind of letting it slide down and not just letting it.
Yeah, you don't chew on it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
I need to give you a little backing on why I hate these things. It's how disgusting my father eats. When we were kids, we would watch my dad dig his hand into the sand and pull out a clam, crack it open, and eat it while still standing in the ocean. 1,000%. Oh, you ask anyone in my family
He
who
would
has
just
ever
eat
been
clams off the beach.
Oh my God! Pull them up, crack it open. Like, I mean, we would be horrified. He'd do it with mussels too.
What do you do with seagulls?
Somebody who's doing that.
Hand me that seagull.
Somebody who's doing that is not really enjoying it. I think they're just doing it for the shock value. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it wasn't like it was a big crowd. It was us. It was
wouldn't
the
sit there and go,
family.
oh my God, I could sit here and all day and eat these.
Is
No,
there a
he-
risk to doing? I mean, obviously, that's where they're coming. That's where they're coming from anyway.
Yeah.
But is there any sort of right? I mean,
No,
is there a risk?
Preston, I think he enjoyed it. He
Okay.
I mean, I would watch him. I remember. I
All
can
right.
like physically see it. He would take another shell. He would scrape it out, make sure he got what at the time for me looked like snot.
Yeah.
And he would scoop it into his mouth. And,
I could
and eat it.
I could see your dad doing that just like out of boredom. You know, like he's standing in the ocean. He's like, "Oh, here's a clam. I can eat this."
Look, if people would fall asleep on the beach, he would eat them.
Hey, Press, by the way, which type of clam chowder did you have this weekend?
New England.
Okay.
I'm a strictly New England guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
What are the variations? What are the others?
Manhattan clam chowder, which is
Oh,
more
yes.
of like a tomato soup.
I think that's
base.
what I had. Yeah.
I like the creamy clam chowder.
You know what's not
Marissa?
bad? I'm sorry. Is the Campbell's clam chowder?
Haven't had that.
It's pretty good.
Okay, Marissa.
I'm going to recommend to you guys the next time you're heading to the shore, go the back roads and shoot. I forget if it's on 55 maybe, but there's a place called Sweet Amalia's, and they actually have an oyster farm somewhere in like the Cape May area. It's the best Manhattan clam chowder I've ever had.
Okay.
Are they free range oysters?
They are right off the coast of Cape May.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to try that. So anyhow, I'm going to double back a second here, and Kathy's dad reaching into the ocean and pulling out a clam and breaking it out and eating it in front of people might be mildly embarrassing if you're a kid. It's kind of what I wanted to focus on in this particular conversation. There is a news reporter, and he was on location, about ready to do a shoot, and I guess I don't know if he's fairly new or whatever, but he and the camera person are setting up and this was in Ohio. His name is Miles Harris, and he was prepping for a live segment, and all of a sudden he's chatting with his cameraman, and they're rolling. They're not live, but they are rolling.
Right.
And his mom drives up.
Oh, my God.
And I have a clip to play of this as his mom rolls up. Here we go.
Is it cousin? This is my mom. Hold on. I'm trying to work right now. You over there calling my phone. This is D'Angelo. You can say hi. And don't be holding up traffic because you got cars behind you.
All right.
Did you record that?
I love it. I love it.
That's very cute.
It's so cute.
Proud.
And so I thought maybe some conversation about when your parents would embarrass you, your mom or your dad. And God, there's the world is rife with stories like this. So not exactly like this, but my mom does this thing. I finally had to tell her, please stop. Yeah. So I've told you guys about this before, but it's and especially when she would visit here, come here to visit me, and say we go out to a restaurant, and the server comes over to the table and is just doing their job and taking our order, and my mom will go, "Oh, do you listen to the radio?"
Oh, right.
Oh, my God.
My son is on the radio, and I'm like, "Oh no, please, Mom, don't." You know, and I wouldn't say it
I'm
then
not
and
her
there.
son.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it then and there, but I'm just like, oh, no.
Yeah.
don't
But it's
do this,
because
don't
she's
do
so
this.
proud.
Yes, it's because she's so proud. Like this mom stopping
Yes,
by.
totally.
My son is on the radio. Could we have a price consideration because of that?
It's just she wants to hear
Free clams?
that other people, listen to her son or whatever.
Except
It's
for the
adorable.
server.
The hard time, the thing that I can't quite get to them to understand, because my sister would do it too, but my mom specifically, is that, listen, yes, we have a very popular radio show. Not everyone listens to the show, Mom. And if this person has never heard of me, you have officially made it very awkward in this moment for me to go, I do a radio show. Yes, we're on it. Oh, I've never heard of you guys before. Okay, that's great.
cool.
I used to listen sometimes.
Sorry, I don't listen.
Yeah.
Or like when they have to pretend like they do listen.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I've heard of you.
And I always say,
those guys.
and then it's okay. It's absolutely fine. I know, but the damage has been done at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just it happened over and over and over and over again.
And you finally said something.
I did. I'm like, you guys, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me because it can be very embarrassing.
A good way to nip it in the bud is when the waiter comes over, you jump out first and say, I'm going to put my mother in a very bad retirement home.
There's a TikTok mom who drops her son off to school every day. He's a teenager. He is in high school, and she brings a megaphone. And every time he gets out of the car, she yells, "I love you."
Why would she do that?
Because she's a TikTok mom. She wants to put it on TikTok. But like now it's become this thing. So and the kid just looks at her. He's like, "Mom, not today, Mom." And then you see him. He like gets out of the car and runs. But like you can see the other kids at the school. They know that like Mom's gonna do this. But just a simple like "I love you" or a hug and a kiss at a certain age can be embarrassing.
It's like into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
It's a great scene.
And he's in the squad car and on the intercom going, "I love you. Say it back to me now. Say I love you."
You know what? He wouldn't have done that if his son just would have shown him a little bit of affection in the car, in the privacy, just between those two. And so he had to teach him a lesson.
There's a great Modern Family segment where the mom is with the daughter, and she's breaking away to get with her friend. She just wants to dump the mother as quickly as she can. And so the mother's like, I don't believe this. And she goes, "Don't forget we're getting a training bra for you later."
Here's a text that says, I used to practice law in Bucks County, and a DA's mom would come to watch his criminal trials.
Oh, boy.
We're talking about a man in his 40s here.
Oh, that's great.
And
That's
mom would show up. Marissa?
Preston, I just want you to tell Gloria that my mom has picked up for where your mom is.
Oh, no kidding.
Man.
She will do that?
And I'm not even on the radio. I'm behind the scenes of your show.
Well, Marissa, we got a text. It says Marissa's mom did that to me at the thrift shop she volunteered at. It was sweet.
That's great.
She just has that look and she goes, do you listen to the radio?
Oh,
yeah.
My daughter works with Preston Elliott.
But I will let you know that every mailman, every barista, every person who shopped at the hamper shop, it's no longer open. They listen to this show. So
Now,
thank you all.
Hey, I wouldn't mind As long as I'm not around.
Yeah,
If they want to, if my mom wants to do that and set herself out there, that's fine. But when I'm sitting right next to her, it's just like, oh,
I'm
no.
sorry, I don't listen to that low-grade
Oh,
entertainment.
you guys should. You guys should embrace it.
Barbaric, imbecilic show.
I'm an NPR person. You know, they might throw that at
All
you.
things considered.
Yes.
You have to embrace your parents doing that. My mom, remember when my mom said to me one time, like, do you think you'll look for other jobs? I was like, I don't think so.
So what, like this long into the career, so what is your fallback plan? No, I'm all in on
Okay, a
this.
couple of ticket rates before we bring our next guest on. I'll remind you about that are coming up for the Barbecue this weekend. Steve will be appearing at the Boozy Mutt, Poplar Street in Philly. This is this Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m., little happy hour.
This place looks cool. You can apparently bring your dogs there. So I was looking at the website for the place, and so it has that cool vibe. I'm really looking forward to visiting the establishment.
So that's on Saturday, 5 to 7. Stop by every 15 minutes. Steve's going to be giving away tickets to the Barbecue. And then on Sunday, another one is happening. It'll be at the Rita's in Rockledge. And that'll be from 1 to 3. And the Army will be on hand and a winner every 15 minutes. And it says here, a pair of real old school paper tickets to the Barbecue.
How nostalgic.
So make sure to get yourself set for that. And speaking of tickets, we also have the exclusive performance with Mammoth. Wolfgang Van Halen will be performing on May 12th at the Foundry just for MMR listeners. More specific, just for Pierre Robert listeners.
I know.
For the midday listeners here on MMR, Pierre is going to be giving away tickets or 4-packs of tickets. Make sure you listen. Now, he's out this week, but Ray Coop's going to be in, and he'll have your chance to do it. It's from A&T Chevy and A&T Subaru in Sellersville. And thank you to Sony BMG for putting this on. But it's a fully plugged in, full band performance. Pretty awesome thing, and exclusively with WMMR. So we're excited about that. Our next guest is joining us via Zoom. He is the catalyst for a lengthy conversation we had yesterday about never pulling this type of prank on anyone ever, and he fully admitted it on an episode of Hot Ones. And we just love talking to him anytime we get an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us live right now is Will Forte.
Hello.
How you doing, Will?
Joining you straight from bed. I'm in the car, so I don't wake everybody up.
I knew that was it. That had to be the reason. You're very conscientious, and you don't want to wake up the rest of the family. So Dad goes out to the car to conduct an interview.
And
That's
full
awesome.
on bedhead as well.
Oh yeah. No, I woke up, just ran in, poured some coffee, and here I am. So you might get some you might not get my 100% focus, not because I'm not trying, but just because it's not there yet.
Well, Will, you did Kimmel last night, and I'm curious, what time does that tape, and what time are you finished doing that? And then as a result, what time were you able to go to bed in Los Angeles last night?
It tapes about 4:30, and so you don't go on as a guest until about 4:45, something like that. 4:45 or 5. So you're done at 5:30, 5:45.
Okay.
Very manageable. Yeah. And then, spending
Well,
some.
keep in mind, it's 3 hours earlier in Los Angeles, too. So
yeah.
we thank you for getting up this early.
We wanted to ask, because we did have a lengthy discussion about, and because we are all guilty of doing something that we thought was maybe going to be funny at the time that it wasn't. And so one of the things we were discussing was at what point you decided to abort your attempt to prank your mom into thinking that you had taken your own life. Did she find you, or was it the blood-curdling scream that you said, oh, this is not a good idea?
I mean, it was pretty instant. Both. She found me and yelled, and I was just immediately got up, and it was like, oh my God, no, sorry, don't. No, I was kidding. It's like, oh, that was really funny. Yeah.
But I can understand as you were 14 at the time?
Yeah. I mean, it could have been anywhere from 13 to 15 even, I don't know.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
That is horrifying. Like, what kind of talk?
What's horrible?
What kind of talk did you get afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I got any kind of talk. I think she was like, that was a bad one. I didn't like that one.
You mean
no,
when
I got a sweet, my mom's a sweetie. She's, No, I mean, it was, but that's, I think that's for everybody. You're just kind of, learning what is right and wrong in life and kind of workshopping stuff.
Yes.
We had a lot of bad ones, me and my friends.
So I assume that you had to be a bit of a recidivist when you're a budding comedic talent. You're trying out different things. I'm sure there are other things that you try. We all do. But that taught you some of the boundaries not to cross. Like the feigned suicide is probably not something you'll go to often.
Yeah. We used to fake having seizures. We thought that was funny at like the local McDonald's. That was, that's another one. You're like, I got a few combs in my mouth from strangers.
Dude, what the hell?
I know. We thought. This was also high school, junior high.
Yeah.
I had a buddy. We would pay. It's his terms of the deal were if you buy me Taco Bell, I will go up to the second floor of the Sun Valley Mall and barf it onto the first floor. If you buy it for me to replace it at the end.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it would cost me and my buddies two rounds of Taco Bell for this, optical delight for us. It was so fun to watch this. So it was, and back then you could get like everything was like 9 cents.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So would this guy do the finger down the throat thing and actually vomit up?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He would just, yeah.
Oh, you guys were next level, man.
Yeah.
But that's, these guys are geniuses.
They were pent-up performance artists.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I assume the desired goal was to not vomit on someone, right? Or was that part of it?
No, not to barf on anybody,
right.
but just to to just see how people react.
Yes.
Well, I would put in though, if you did barf on someone, that gets you one of the taco salads because that was the biggest thing they had on the menu at the time.
Very expensive.
It was, yeah. Look, I look back now and I go, what were we doing? But I think all kids are kind of doing that. Yeah. It's horrible. It's. I'm not saying any of this is good. This is definitely like coming with my own internal, do not try this at home.
Yeah.
Scrolls.
And if you were to change anything, it would have set in motion perhaps a different path, and you would have, listen, it all worked out. Listen, you're successful at what you're doing. We were very happy to see, by the way, in the news that Coyote versus Acme is going to be released. And that is still the case, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's the most exciting news. We it just came out of nowhere because I just thought, this is never going to happen, and so it just and there was not a lot of warning. And even when somebody did say, "Hey, this might be happening," I just didn't want to get my hopes up because I just thought it was. I didn't want to get hurt again.
Well, so for people unaware, it's kind of a Roger Rabbit-esque courtroom, or at least part of it is a court. The Coyote finally decides to sue Acme for all of the things he's purchased from them that have gone wrong. You as the live action lawyer, John Cena, and what happens is. And I flipped out when I heard they were going to do this. And we love you, obviously, and I'm a massive fan of your work, as we all are. But they were going to throw it into like Batgirl territory and kind of use it as a tax write-off.
Yeah. It was really depressing. It was and enraging.
Yeah,
because we got a chance to see the movie. We heard. Oh, they're done. They're done getting the movie together. They're excited for the cast to see it. And the very next day, I got a call saying, they're not going to stream it or release it in theaters. But they still let us go see it 5 days later. So when we saw it, we're like, wait, what is happening? This is great. It had also been testing really well. So everything that we heard was was all very positive. So it was really baffling to hear the news that they weren't going to.
It's got to be. You have all these people putting the time and effort into this. And again, I was seeing the reviews from other people who had seen it were like very favorable. Were you, I assume, as you had to have been. I consider the Looney Tunes, the cartoons, just about the most comprehensive comedy school you could attend. And I assume you felt the same way, correct?
Oh, totally felt the same way. And it had been a while since I'd seen a lot of them. I mean, I'd probably seen every one of them 15 times, just after watching them growing up. So when I got this job, I went back and I watched them again, a lot of them over again. And man, they're amazing. They're so good. Mel Blanc, I mean, that guy.
I mean, it's just amazing. And Chuck Jones and the brutality, this is what sets them apart from Disney. And I love Disney as well. But when the coyote falls off the cliff and you keep that perspective as he gets smaller and smaller and they stay on that shot, they're going to follow the body all the way down to the bottom. That percussive smash, the dirt rising up, that's what they did. They took it. You do this as well. It's holding a shot or really just pounding something until you get the laugh out of it, which I love. Looney Tunes was doing that years ago.
Oh yeah, I mean it is, and there's so much of that stuff in the movie. It has fun with the tropes that they created, that they were the ones that create. So it was something I was so excited about. And back when we watched it, we were still hopeful that maybe it could get bought by somebody and seen. And so it's a bummer when it wasn't. And especially another thing that was sad for me was I'm kind of a late in life dad. So I have a 4-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. And this would have been, a year ago or something. So to know that there was this, I have all these super disgusting things that my kids are going to have to see. This was a really cute one that I was excited for them to see, and I could even watch with them. And then when it looked like it wasn't going to be something I could see, it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, this one wasn't running around with celery in your butt cheeks.
I don't regret that.
No regrets.
Hey, I want to ask you, because you had mentioned workshopping something earlier, and one of the things that I really love about your comedy is you believe in something and you stick to it, and it's hilarious. And there's this thing that showed up on my Instagram feed over the last year, and I don't recall this ever being... I know it was on Saturday Night Live, but it is hilarious, and I don't remember it being this hilarious in real time. It's you getting the football team, or it might be a basketball team, all riled up before a game, and you're dancing to this old-timey music.
Herb Albert, Casino Royale. Because it's hilarious. I love that piece of music. It's one of my favorite pieces of music. And when you did that, it's all over. Casey's right. All over TikTok. You see it pop up constantly.
Yeah. It was so funny to me because that must have been 2006 or 2007 that I did that. That is probably my number one favorite thing of how everything, all the skets that I did at SNL. So I always loved that. And then it just stopped going around, I think, because of music stuff. Like I think it got taken out of rotation there just so they wouldn't have to pay music rights. I don't know the reason, but I was so happy to hear that it started going around because I'm not really on TikTok. So I just had a bunch of my old man friends saying like, hey, somebody's been showing me that, I just heard through the grapevine.
Yeah, everybody in the skit can't keep it together.
Peyton Manning is the host of the show. And then there's you see Keenan laughing in the background and Bill Hader, and they can't keep it together, which is freaking hilarious. But I wanted to ask you, Will.
Peyton is great in that.
He's good,
so
terrific.
But it was that. I'm very happy that was like another Coyote versus Acme journey because it was kind of. out of circulation and came back for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why that resurfaced, but I'm happy it did.
Yes.
So speaking of Saturday Night Live, we were chatting a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and the SNL 50 stuff I thought was just phenomenal. It was really well done. It was well produced. The skits, like the new stuff, was fantastic. But can you share a couple stories? Because there's a cool Eddie Vedder one, and then just your time in New York while that was happening for you, and the 50 years of SNL is a momentous occasion in and of itself.
Oh man, it was a really exciting and it was just a joyous occasion. We got to go back there. I was only in one sketch, so I didn't have to overly stress out about stuff that I had to do on the show. And the sketch was that big musical number, so it was, I don't know, 30 of us or something like that. Big long rehearsal for that. So it was really fun to just be stuck with this delightful group of people for a while. Like a bunch of old friends, Wig and Sudeikis.
Yeah.
And then met Nathan Lane for the first time. He was a delight. And Adam Driver's milling around, people like that who are, new friends. And then, a bunch of people you've known from SNL that you don't know too well that you get to catch up with. So it was a real delight. And then we rehearsed forever. And then at the end of that day, you hear, oh, Paul McCartney's about to do sound check for.
Jeez.
So I stuck around. I called up my wife and said it was my daughter's 4th birthday. So I said, get over here. And so they came and we got to watch him.
Wow.
My daughter she's going to be blown away in a couple years. I don't know when, but she likes the Beatles, but doesn't
get it.
Didn't understand, like, oh, that's the guy who did all these songs that Daddy's forcing me to listen to. But like, it was moments like that, and then getting to be a spectator at that show, the music show was amazing. And then that thing that you're talking about with Eddie Vedder, it was 4:30 in the morning. It was after the show, at the after party. And there had been music going on this stage all night, and he asked me if I wanted to come up and do "Rockin' in the Free World" with him, and I'm like, yeah. and so even though I was a little drunk, I was still suddenly got very nervous, and like I don't because he's like, that song, right? And I was like, Yeah. Because I do, but then I realized, like, oh, I know it. Like, I know the first couple.
Yeah.
I would like, for me, my Rockin' in the Free World. If they said you go do it now, don't look at anything on the phone, it'd be, there's a lady on the streets. Oh, she's on the streets. Lady on the streets, machine gun hands. So, like, I had to bear it at the last second. So, okay, I don't think I can be trusted with the verses, but I'll just pop in on the chorus.
Yeah.
They said, okay. So
Smart move.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Hey, I wanted to ask you, well, another thing when your name come up in a discussion was a few weeks ago, Val Kilmer passed away. And that was a bit of a gut punch to everybody. I mean, you knew he had some health issues, but once a guy who had a body of work like that was gone, we sat and we talked about all our favorite moments and so on. And we were leaning towards some of the more serious ones, but then obviously he was a great comedic actor with a real genius, and obviously MacGruber. And when what were you thinking about when you got news of him passing away?
Oh, so many things. I mean, obviously really sad, but he brought a lot of joy to our lives. Personally, like, obviously I shared that joy that everyone shares from all the performances that he gave. But then the chance that I got to see the side of him, just the human side, and the roommate side.
He lived with you for a couple months, correct?
Yeah, there was a period, it was about a year and a half after, or maybe 2 years after we made MacGruber. He was selling his place in New Mexico, and he was having a dispute with his landlord, so he was going to move to a new place out in Los Angeles, and he asked me, like, oh, could he stay a couple days while he was working out this new place? And that couple days turned into more than 2 months, and was a delight.
That's cool.
So fun to get this. It's just a period of time that, it was getting to know somebody on such a personal level, and he was just a sweetheart of a guy, but have some good. I mean, like he was so funny and so fun, and he would do it. It would be this like it was a mock serious presentation, over the top serious, but was so silly at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, his performance, we can't even say the name on radio for freedom, but as C-U-N-T-H, as he's, as the scene in MacGruber, obviously, he had established himself with the Top Secret and a real genius, but there's that exchange of MacGruber and he has where he's describing what MacGruber did when he blew up all of his team to you, and you go, "You're kidding! I did this." and he is so. You're right. It's a hyper sort of approach to it. That's just. But you could tell he was loving it. And then you have a flashback where you're in college, and he's playing the guitar, and you can see he's all in. I always love people who really just say, well, as you do, just go for it and really sell it.
Oh, yeah. He was, I still can't believe that we talked him into doing it. And he was so good in it. So, and you look back now and he was able to do so many different types of performances. You forget he's such a good dramatic actor that you forget, oh, yeah, that's right. He was in frickin' Top Secret and Real Genius and
Tombstone.
Tombstone. That still, one of my favorite performances I've ever seen on a movie screen was his Doc Holliday.
Amazing.
Will, I don't know how much you are into the comic book world or the MCU, but have people talked about how much you look like Charlie Cox from Daredevil? Because watching that show and seeing this interview with you now, you guys are spitting images of one another.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't heard that in a long time, but I think I saw that somewhere one time.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, it's a great show. Steve turned me on to it. It's very violent, but it's really good comic book stuff, and I think you guys look identical.
There
you go.
I'm totally down with violence, with fake violence in shows. I don't like real violence.
No, most people don't. Yeah. We talk about the SNL 50th, just to harken back to that and viral moments. Another moment since you don't visit the world of TikTok or a lot of the social media stuff, during that performance, that musical number where you have Kevin Costner and Jenna Ortega sandwiched in between you and Jason Sudeikis is a clip unto itself that is getting massive viral attraction. Have you seen that isolated?
I think I have, but it was a while ago. I definitely have watched them between us, not just on my own, just as I watch them, because they're a delight to watch.
Did they have any? Did they know that was about to happen? Because maybe they're acting, but it looks like they're like, what the hell's going on?
Well, so the people who were in that seat were Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson. And then Scarlett, I know, was in the sketch, and Colin was doing something else, so they both had to leave. So they had known that they were not going to be there, and they selected those two to be in there in between it. So they did know. I don't know how much they told them, but I think at least Costner knew that I was going to put my mascot head in his lap, and I don't think they got too much more than that. But the way they played it was so perfectly on point. It was great.
It was great. Yeah.
Will, I'm looking at least a dozen texts over here of people that want me to ask you the likelihood of another and final season of Last Man on Earth. I know that's probably a bit of a long shot, but people are curious.
Well, I would say it's probably a long shot. Yeah. I mean, I would love it. That group of people to get back together would be great. And never say never. I would, if it was up to me, I'd say stamp my fingers and do it in a second, you know? I don't know why I said snap my fingers.
Yeah, I was
It's
curious.
early.
Stamp
You guys,
your
it's
fingers.
early over here. Anything that I've said that's dumb, please just take it back. I'm still waking up.
We'll fix it in post.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to do it again. And I know that, that the rest of the cast would probably like to also.
As a massive fan, who would have thought you would have had a series run of MacGruber, and you did? So I guess you can't say never, right?
That is, and by the way, that's another one. If we got another shot to do something like that, my wife always says she thinks we should do a MacGruber musical, which I think we are all into. But we would do literally a MacGruber anything. It makes us happy to get that team reassembled.
You have a knack for playing almost very like, as with Last Man and with MacGruber's, essentially at some level is sociopathic and but is very likable. When he's describing how he had another man's baby aborted and trying to play the victim in that sequence is so brilliant. Do you fashion your? Was there someone who serves as mainly a focal point of comedic acting, the way you approach it, that inspired you?
Oh wow! I mean, a million people went into this big comedy inspiration soup. I would say it would be like Steve Martin was my number one guy. Steve Martin, Peter Sellers, David Letterman, every era of SNL. I just was locked onto all the different eras. Monty Python. It was just like this huge soup of people. But I did Peter Sellers.
Amazing.
And Steve Martin were probably the two early ones.
Were you a fan of because after Martin and Lewis, Jerry Lewis did very experimental films like The Bellboy, he had no dialogue, but he would do these things that remind me of your style, of just like the spelling bee, where you're going on and you commit to it and you're going to strangle laughs out of it. You just can't help. You got to succumb to it because it's so unrelenting. Were you a fan of his at all, or did he play any part in your comedy building?
I'm realizing now that by the way, just so you know, that I'm really shaking this camera all over the place because I'm holding it with my hand. I should have just put it down. But if you guys, I'm realizing now because my eyesight's kind of bad, so I'm only in a tiny little box up here, so
we can see you fine.
If
Headroom's
you guys
good.
can tell me to put it down. If
You're fine.
We'll wrap up shortly and we give your hand a break.
It looks like a found footage film.
Okay, it's like Blair Witchy.
Yeah.
Jerry Lewis.
It's never okay. So Jerry Lewis, I didn't have a ton of exposure to him.
Yeah.
Not that I wasn't a fan. I just didn't really know him very much. It was I guess the earliest. Trying to think of any early comedy.
Like
all the really early stuff was stuff that you would just hear your parents talk about, or your grandparents.
Abbott and Costello and
stumble. Oh well, okay, that kind of stuff. Three Stooges to me was always
Yep.
the top.
Yeah,
and then Abbott and Costello were awesome, but below them.
Okay,
and Laurel and Hardy, to me, they're all amazing, but Three Stooges were the tops for me.
Yeah.
And then later I've stumbled upon Bob and Ray were people that, as I was getting into comedy, people would always talk about them and their influence, and that's like Chris Elliott's dad.
Yeah, love those guys.
Bob and Abby Elliott's grandfather. So, oh my God, that if you haven't seen Slow Talkers of America. It's one of the funniest comedy bits ever. It's just timeless, and go watch it. Might be under STOA, but it's Bob and Ray, one of the funniest things ever.
I wanted to ask you also, Will, we were talking a few days ago on our show about being blackout drunk, and it allowed us to reminisce. We used to do this thing on the radio program called Drunk Day, and we haven't done it for a long time, and we've all done it except for Steve because he doesn't drink, and it really took its toll. We would get very, very drunk on air, and afterwards, for at least a day or 2 or 3, it made us hungover and tired, and that's part of the reason why we don't do them anymore. The reason I'm bringing that up is you did day drinking with Seth, and you guys went at it. You were drinking pretty hard, and I want to know, because it looked like it was a lot of fun, what was the impact afterwards, and how long did the hangover last?
It was a ton of fun. I think we ended up drinking like 13 shots. It was, I don't remember how long it lasted. I don't remember it lasting that. I don't think it was like a 2-day hangover, but definitely I went home because we did it kind of earlier in the day. So I went home and my wife brought me a bunch of stuff. We were prepared for it. So she stuffed me with food, and I was probably lagging the next day and then woke up the next day kind of refreshed. But it is, the older you get, like the other night I went out with a buddy and I had a glass and a half of wine at like 6 at night with dinner, and I woke up with a little bit of a hangover. It's just, it takes very little. So I'm drinking less and less these days, but
did you?
Yeah, that was a fun time to get to do that experience with him. It was just a bunch of laughs, and I knew that there would be some pain afterwards, but it was a fun thing to get to do with him, kind of an adventure.
You have to find your alcohol. Like as you age, like there's certain things. Like I love wine, but if I drink one glass, it's like I'll be hungover the next day. But if you can find an alcohol that works for you, like tequila actually works for me. If I drink tequila, I could have a couple of drinks and be fine and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and come to work.
Is that what happened last night?
She just needed someone to confess to.
You know what? I heard that before. Like, if you drink nothing but tequila, it's the mixers that you put in with the tequila. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do a night where I drink nothing but tequila, because they say there will be no hangover, and I had the worst hangover the next day.
It's still in it still means in moderation.
Yeah, right.
Well, nobody told me that part.
They have to clarify that. One of the funniest bits I've seen recently, I love, I think you should leave the Tim Robinson series. And
so good, right?
You pair so well with him, and you played this agitated passenger on a plane where a kid was ruining a flight, and you seek revenge on him as a great skit. Is there any more? Are there any more plans to work with him on the show?
Man, I would do anything for that guy. He's so funny. I've always been a huge fan. A bunch of the people who work there are some of my good friends. I just kind of wait for the phone call and do what I'm told. And I know they have a lot of fun stuff in the works. I haven't seen that movie yet, the movie with him and Paul Rudd. Have you guys seen it?
No, it's getting a good word of mouth. I
keep hearing amazing things about it. And then they also have this show coming out that I know they're filming right now, which I hear is just fantastic. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Will, we're going to give your hand a break and let you run here. But I do want to compliment
you. It's such a bummer. I can feel the caffeine kicking in now. I'm finally kind of ready to go and sharp.
Speaking of caffeine, before we do let you go, I wanted to compliment you on your coffee mug, which you've been sipping off of during this entire interview. Is that your favorite mug that you took out to the car with you?
No, it's actually, this is my wife's favorite mug. I do like the mug. It is, we got it when we were making MacGruber in New Mexico. Yeah. And people kept talking about these mugs. What's the name of the place? There's this like fancy schmancy restaurant and hotel out there, and they sell these coffee mugs, and this, it's like a little car for your coffee.
No, it's formidable, yeah.
And you've held on to that for like 16 years or so? That's a damn good long life.
Well,
for a
this
bar.
was the MacGruber TV series, so it's been like 5 years. But this thing would, like, this is the thing that Indiana Jones would hide in. But that's
to get away from the nuclear bomb blast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant, man. All right, and last question: Coyote versus Acme. Any idea when we can expect that to be released?
I don't know yet. All I know is that the press release said 2026, and I have the inner workings that I have heard is that they're trying to see if they can make that happen even earlier than that.
This company,
they're just so excited to show the movie, and I am too. So we'll, nothing I can officially say yet, but they are searching for a pre-2026 date.
Well, you'll let us know and we'll promote it because this company had success with another Looney Tunes project, an animated movie that they released as well. So, I assume it looks like they're full steam ahead, and we couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, for sure. If I would love to come on and promote that as soon as that's coming out. But for now, geez, I'm in this show that's about to come out. That's why I'm going around doing press for the Four Seasons, Tina Fey's new show.
Yes.
She's from Philly, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And Coleman Domingo, I think, is also
he is.
Philly.
Is this a riff on the play, the Four Seasons?
Yeah, it was. Was it a play too? It was definitely an Alan Alda movie. He wrote it and directed
Carol
it.
Burnett was in it. Yeah.
Carol Burnett was in it. A bunch of awesome people. Lynn Carreyrou. But it's a Netflix series. It come out May 1st.
It's very funny, and so you're part of that. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And I mean, and Steve Carell's in it. It's just this awesome cast. And yes, but it's so be on the lookout for that. And then, hopefully not too far after that, Coyote versus Acme. But I will be spreading the word once that thing gets a release date.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
All right. Well, we'll look out for both of those, obviously. Will, thank you so much for joining us, brother. It's good to talk to you. And
Thank you. Great to talk to you. Excuse the bedhead.
We'll chat soon. No, we love the bedhead. Will Forte! Take care, man. We'll see you.
You too.
Man. That was great.
Super nice guy.
Excellent.
Netflix is pushing that Four Seasons show. They're putting it out there for everybody to kind of.
I thought that was a good movie, Steve. Four Seasons.
I did as well. You know what I was thinking? Maybe I'm thinking of same time next year.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but
it's kind of similar, but
similar vibe.
This is a like a group of three couples, I think it ends up being four couples, and they vacation together every year, and it shows vacations in different seasons that they go on, and the more time they spend together, the more tension there is to build. But there's a lot of comedy relief to it as well. So
you know where they shot some of that movie, Preston? Is St. John in the Virgin Islands.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the tropical scenes. It's a beautifully shot movie.
Wow. So that was great, man. Checking in with him. Nick had reached out to him yesterday after we heard about it.
When I saw him
faking suicide with his mother when he was 14.
When I saw him sitting in the car, because Nick said, we talking to Willis, that he's got the kids, and so he's being respectful of the family. I knew exactly what he's doing. He was sitting in the driveway to conduct the interview.
I read an interview about Will Forte a few years ago, and I think Seth Meyers was quoted in talking about his friend Will, and Seth says something that I find to be very accurate. Will drift away from people, not purposely. He just does. His life takes him in a bunch of different places. And he doesn't forget about you. He's just not a part of your life for an active period of time. And then when he drifts back in, he makes you remember how much you love him in the first place. I feel that way about the guy. I hung out with him one night 12 years ago at a Pearl Jam show. It was a magical night. It was incredible. But then there'll be stretches of time where we don't communicate at all. And then this last month or so, we started chatting again because of SNL 50 and now this thing that he's promoting and Coyote versus Acme. He just is a wonderful, kind, decent human being, and I'm lucky to be friendly with him.
It kind of reminds me of how I am friends with my friends since kindergarten, all of my grade school friends. Life takes you in different directions, and you have people living in two of my friends literally live across the street from each other, right? So proximity, obviously they hang and see each other. So, but we're all turning 50 this year, so we've all had many different reasons to get together. And
life happens.
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah.
And every time I see, I'm like, hey, it's like.
It's the same thing.
Back together.
Preston with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
He drifts away.
We pick right up.
And then right back. It's like we saw him yesterday.
Yep.
That seeing him though hasn't happened yet, so we're just waiting. For
Right. Yeah,
to
but
see
I
him.
know.
I
know.
Yeah.
It
No,
will.
I know.
And the time will melt away, and he'll say,
Yeah.
"Who are you again?"
Exactly. All righty. Well, that was cool conversation. It's great to have him on the program. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a second. We do have another chance at winning $1,000 with the Preston and Steve 20 money. Bizarre file stories are on the way, too, so we'll get to all that next. Stay with us.
No, but I will sometimes I'll get, like she's like, so do you like? You still like them? Do you like? You guys all still get along?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's been 20 years, Mom. I think we're good.
Let me go to.
It seems volatile.
Let me go to Susan. Hi, Susan. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you guys?
Great, Susan. What's up?
So my mom taught at the high school where I went, but before that she was a sub, and I remember being in 8th grade and walking in, and she was my sub, and at the very start of class, she's like, does anybody know my name? And everyone's quiet, and I'm just like mortified. And she's like, how about you, little girl? Do you know my name? I'm like, yes, it's Mom, but you guys should call her Mrs. Freeland.
Susan, we had a similar situation. I remember years ago clearly, but it wasn't like the sub was in for like a day or two. She was our teacher was sick or giving birth or something, so she had her mother teaching us the class for about a month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no, mine was only a day.
Oh, my goodness.
It was so awkward.
All right. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate it.
The principal of my high school, his son was at the school at the time. He was my year. I graduated with the principal's son. So I don't know what it was. He was a good kid, so I guess it was okay, but I don't know if there was ever an embarrassment.
My
for him
sister.
to do
I'm sure
it.
something had to happen.
Yeah, no, my sister's a principal or the vice principal and teacher at her high school. Her daughter goes there. Her son's going to go there next year. I don't know if that was ever an issue, but she did have my niece in her class, but they have different last names. So.
Casey, weren't you starting to do an embarrassment campaign on your kids for a little while?
Wait, campaign? What do you mean by that?
Like you were going to regularly show up in a bathrobe or something to pick them up?
I think maybe I threatened that. There was a point where my oldest was starting to get embarrassed by me. She's past that now,
right?
And now
when
she's
that happens,
proud of me and stuff. Like,
if I may jump in just quickly,
yeah.
When that happens, that really has to be a sucker punch to any parent, right?
Because listen, I used to. 10 years ago, my oldest was in kindergarten, and I was a lunch dad. So the great thing about our job is that we get done the show early enough that I was actually able to go be a cafeteria dad,
right?
And for a little while there, they were excited that I would go there. They loved it. It was the coolest thing. And also I got to meet the other classmates and all that. And then after a while, it was like
dwindled.
Yeah, but so I would do this thing at basketball games. And listen, this is a great dad joke. So if anybody out there wants to use this is awesome. But when my daughters would do an inbound pass.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just the easiest pass in basketball whatsoever, right? The referee hands them the ball, then they pass it to. I would yell at the top of my lungs, "Great pass!" Right? "Great pass, Casey!" And it was funny. Everybody laughed, and it was just ridiculous. And then they would just go, "Oh my God, I can't believe this fucking guy."
Yeah.
So dumb.
But when you've just been being a parent becomes embarrassing to your kids, not doing something that's kind of obnoxious.
Right.
Yeah, dude, it hurts.
Yeah,
it sucks.
especially I think like a daddy-daughter thing. You know,
Yeah.
Well, then you move on to what, purposely embarrassing them.
Yes.
That my dad came onto the school bus, remember, in his robe and purposely messed up his hair because I forgot my lunch. He also picked me up from a party early because if I were to ever go to a party in high school, my parents would call the house that I was going to. And if somebody didn't answer the phone, she was like, "I'm coming to get you. Like, you need to know." So, and
coming now.
So we didn't pick up the phone, and my dad showed up with it was my best friend's dad and my dad, and they dressed up in my little brother Christopher's dress up. They had helmets on and swords and armor.
I love him.
And they came into the party and picked us up like that.
That's great.
This was high school, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's hard to come back from that.
That's good.
There's a whole other level of embarrassing your children because you have also, I was yelling the nice pass at basketball games, but yelling at referees and stuff like that at games. And
Yelling
stuff
the
like
C
that.
word?
Not that.
Well, that's an unintentional. I mean, that's your parent getting out of control.
That's bad news bears. That's psycho parent thing. This is just, you're not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're playfully fun. It's like that transition you were talking about. Dad's here at school.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dad's here. That's that's a level of embarrassment, like Kathy's parents doing cosplay, that it's hard to get past.
Yeah, because I had seen that type of thing a couple times. I don't really want to dwell on that. But I'd seen, parents, embarrass their kids by doing something that was just mean or
I told you
out of line.
My dad's attire in the winter quite often would be an overcoat with that went down like below his knees.
Please tell me he had those little sock suspenders on too, because that really pushes it to another level.
But and then boots. It looked like he was a flasher. It looked exactly like that. And he would show up at school. I remember we're waiting to go on a weekend field trip to go see a movie. And we're waiting there, and I forgot something or money. Both my brother and I to get popcorn or whatever. And he's coming up, and everyone's like looking at, oh my God, there's a flasher coming to the school, and I'm like, oh no!
All right, we got some good calls coming in. I'm going to Luke. Hi, Luke. You are on the air. Good morning, Luke. Are you there?
Hey, yo. Sorry.
Yo, what's up, Luke?
So I'm very man pretty, and when I was 18 years old, I became a model for Abercrombie.
Oh, you'd be one of those dudes who was like shirtless?
Yeah, but when I say model, I just mean like I stood outside of the mall in Cherry Hill.
Okay.
But my mom told everybody he's an Abercrombie model.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Abercrombie model. Like, so she would walk through the mall and be like, "That's my son. That's my son."
That's great. I love it.
It is wonderful to have that pride and have your parents have that exist. But I mean, I can see where that'd be embarrassing.
Oh my God!
The Abercrombie
Luke,
model.
did you tell her?
She doesn't bring that up at all.
Did you tell her to stop doing it? Did you ever tell her to stop doing it, Luke?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah, she didn't.
Can you just go to Cinnabon and leave me alone?
That's right. All right, thanks, Luke. Appreciate it.
So my daughter and Chuck D'Amico, who works here, his daughter, they both worked at a little coffee shop down the shore this summer, and Chuck's wife would go into that coffee shop and embarrass her daughter all the time. Like
how?
It doesn't for a 16-year-old.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. Just if you announce that's my baby girl back there.
Right. Oh, no.
It doesn't take much.
I'm going to go to Melanie. Hey, Melanie, good morning.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Melanie?
Hi. So my mom is a local singer-songwriter, and I just want to give her kudos that today I'm so proud of her, and I'm so appreciative when she does this, but I wasn't always this way.
All right.
Growing up at some of her shows, she would intentionally pick out songs that were, songs that she'd written for my sisters and I, but she specifically had written me a lullaby that was no mistaken. It was a lullaby. And she would sing it in front of crowds at World Cafe, the Bluebird in Tennessee, like some pretty, known places.
Would she point you out in the audience?
Say that again?
Would she point you out in the audience, or was it just...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. She would call me out. If there could have been a spotlight, I'm sure she would have put it on. But she would make sure to tell every single person, especially at the end of the night as we left, that, oh, this was my daughter. This is the one I sang about.
Is this someone we know? What's her name, if you don't mind giving it?
Yeah, not at all. Her name is Lizanne Knott. I believe her website is lizanneknott.com, and she is phenomenal. I think she is the best singer in the world. I'm so proud of her.
But at a certain age, you were like, oh, cut it out, Mom.
Oh, it was the worst. Especially it would come up on XPN on the radio sometimes, and, every one of my friends knew about it, so I get phone calls and text messages. Oh, we just heard your mom on the radio. We just heard your lullaby.
Oh, that's funny.
Nice. With you,
right, thanks, Melanie.
Are you, and Casey and Nick, and are your kids embarrassed when they hear you on the radio, or see people make a fuss about what?
We're not allowed to talk about certain stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of respect their privacy to a certain level, but also, I don't know about you, Casey, with your daughter, Casey, but like at 15, my son's friends just don't care. You know, I think that like they did
Keep it that
earlier.
way.
Well, yeah, like in high school. To them, it doesn't really matter what their parents do. You know, I think that they'll reflect on it later in life, but right now it doesn't seem to impact them one way or the other.
My son has a few friends that listen to the show that have been listening to the show for a while.
Friends do?
Yeah.
Oh, because I get friends' parents listen to the show, or teachers listen
as
to
a
the
result of them being in the car with their parents.
I see.
They have, and so I was at his school a couple of weekends ago, and the kid because we were there for a play, and the kid that I was getting the tickets from, he's like, "Oh, I listen to you guys all the time."
Nice.
And I was like, "Well, that's pretty cool," you know. And my daughter,
That sex harness bit was hilarious.
yeah. And then my daughter's friends are now, and so that's why I think my daughter has sort of come around on it. Is that she has friends that are like, "Hey, that's pretty cool what your dad does," not like, "Oh, you know."
Yeah.
It's also interesting though. I'm sorry, Kath, because our kids know you guys. You know, so my son has been his entire life. I've been on the Preston and Steve show.
yeah.
You know, so like this is all he knows.
Yeah,
what his
I
dad
guess
is,
that's
is
true.
doing. You know.
Yeah.
That's I guess sweet. You guys have a much different situation than I do. I get mocked. I told this story before. We were at Target, and someone was like, "Oh my God, are you Kathy Romano? I listen to the show every day. I love you guys. Oh, thank you so much." Second she walked away, Jace looked at me and went, "Oh my God, you're Kathy."
Really? Like, you're not getting anything.
Kathy, one time, I think I told this story before, but we went out and we were at an outdoor restaurant. I ordered dessert, and somebody came up behind me and they said, "Hey, we listen to the show. It's so nice to meet you." And I said I was chatting with them for a little bit. Ben used that opportunity to eat my entire dessert. And it was gone. I was like, "All right."
If you're talking about restaurants, my dad, it was his thing because he worked for Diners Club for a while, so we'd going out. You know, one of the early credit cards, if you're not familiar. And so we'd sit down, the waitress or waiter would come over, 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, please.
Love you, Dad.
That's your dad joke.
Let me go to Marina. Hi, Marina. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Marina. It says here you are a prosecutor.
Yeah.
All right, and we were just talking about somebody had said that their mom comes in for their cases.
Yes, so mine does too, as will other family members of mine. And I didn't think much of it until the one day when the judge was like, "Oh, who are you here for?" Because most of the people in the courtroom are not just the general public. They're for a case. And I had to stand there and be like, "Oh, that's my mom."
So in the spectators, Marina, it's usually people who are somehow tacitly connected to the case, right?
Yes.
Right. But do you have people who basically consider that like going to the multiplex and can go in and watch?
No, it's never happened to me.
Oh, right.
But the judge asked, like, "Oh, what case are you here for?" Because we were almost done, and I had to stand and say, "No, that's just my mom."
I was helping my daughter fake some evidence last night.
Did the judge react? Did he find it cute?
Yeah, she just laughed. She
did. Oh,
that's
great.
awesome, though. That's great that you're doing that and she's coming by to watch.
She's proud of her
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah,
Wow.
that is great.
All right, thank you, Marina.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
My uncle tries death penalty cases, and I have forever wanted to watch him.
Yeah.
I want to see him, and he won't let us.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, it's too much. It's too stressful. It's."
Before we talk about the lethal injection, my niece is here.
She's on the radio.
Her, yeah.
But same thing.
And it's just great to have her here. Now back to the injection.
No, but I'm so proud of him. I mean, he's gotten people off of death row that should have falsely
been on death row.
No, that were falsely accused.
That's awesome.
He had to move out of a state because he got a black man off of death row.
Really?
They said as soon as this case is over, you have to move. So anyway, that's a side story. But
All right, thank you very much, Kath. Nick just pointed this up. We have a couple of minutes to play with. You know what? I will point this out. I was gonna bring that up, Nick.
Okay.
Before we get to the bizarre file, but somebody wanted to point this out. The over the next few weeks, people are going to be trying to guess who the next pope is going to be.
Yes.
And so you can actually bet on who the next pope will be. And
I put some money down.
There are odds. Who's your horse?
Frank Stallone.
Frank Stallone.
Actually, my mom is pretty into this. There is a cardinal from New York that she's rooting for right now.
All right. Well, let me rattle off a couple of these names, but there's a text that just came in specifically about one of them, and actually, that's my horse in the race.
Okay.
All right. So you have Pietro Parolin, sorry, Luis Antonio Tagli,
Hey.
and Matteo Zuppi. Peter Turkson is one of them.
Hey, how are you? I'm the Pope. Nice to meet you.
And then some of these people have. Oh no, these are different people. All right, so Jose Tolentino, Reinhard Marx, Robert Serra. The top odds goes to. Well, I guess would it be? What do these numbers mean? Plus, are these? Plus,
Yeah, those
under?
are the odds, right? So plus 300. If you put $100 down, you would make $300 if that person was.
All right, so the lower the number, the better odds this person.
Is this to become the Pope or to survive the first rose ceremony?
No, this is. Well, so the front runners, Pietro Parolin, and then I'm going to bring this up. This is the one. There's Peter Edro, and then his running mate is someone named Pier Battista Pizzaballa.
Pizzaball.
And so, yes, they said that he's got his own theme song with Froggy's Pizza Ball song.
Yeah.
So he may be the front runner, actually, even though he's 1,200 to 1. But if you put the song and add that could be a little pop in his campaign.
Interesting.
Yeah. Pier Battista Pizzaballa.
If you're talking about bringing in younger parishioners,
yeah, having Froggy on board to back you up.
They say there is a push to perhaps have the new Pope come out of Africa.
Okay.
And I don't know why that is, but I don't know the parameters of that decision, but they're saying there's a strong push on that.
Has there ever been one before?
Yeah, and I think there's also a perception that Catholicism is very robust in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and also I think that guy Nick is considered to be a more conservative.
Okay.
Pizza ball?
No, not pizza ball, but contender. And Pope Francis was leaned a little bit more liberal, so they may want to swing the other way. I don't know.
I think he was the first Latin American Pope, so maybe I don't know if
Could be
there's
first. Yes.
Yeah, if it's
Popes around the
another
world.
First, yeah.
My mom
International House of Pancakes.
My mom's hoping for the first American Pope, and
Peter Turkson.
No, this guy's name is Tim
At
Dolan.
Peter Turkson Ford, hey, I'm the Pope. Good news, folks. I'm the Pope, and Ford Wranglers have never been cheaper.
All right, what is it?
His name is Cardinal Dolan, Timothy Dolan.
Timothy Dolan, yes.
And Preston, he's from St. Louis, but he's the cardinal in New York right now.
And Peter Turkson, not Dokson. Peter Turkson is the one from Africa. He's
Get out of here.
He's Ghanaian.
Peter Turkson Ford, Guyana, I'm your number.
No, Ghana.
Oh, Guyana. Yeah.
Ghana is a former English colony in Africa, and so he would have an English or an anglicized name.
Okay, so that's Peter Turkson.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's 800 to 1.
Wow,
right now.
man, that's not good.
But apparently,
That is not
he's in the top 4 for the odds.
What are the odds on the odds-on favorite?
188.
Okay.
To 1. On this particular set of odds that I have here, he's the top.
I would encourage, if you ever get a chance, it's an older movie. I know it's a longer movie too. It may not be everyone's cup of tea. It is called The Cardinal. It stars an actor named Tom Tryon, and it is about the ascent of a cardinal through the process to become the Pope, and it's pretty fascinating.
Okay. When did that come out? About
in the 60s. Yeah.
Kathy, what?
No, sorry, I
You're
was
pointing to Casey.
Casey, go.
She wants
go ahead.
Casey to be the
trying to
Pope.
get your attention.
Your turn, Casey. No, tell them what you said about Conclave.
Oh,
the movie?
Oh, yeah. So it used to be streaming on Peacock.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Pope died, and they took it off of streaming on Peacock, and the only way you could do it is either rent it or buy it.
So now you got to pay for it.
Because they know.
That's messed up.
Hey, I went to go watch it the other day. I had no interest.
It's actually smart.
Yeah.
For them.
I know.
So you're going to wait now. You think it'll come back around for?
I'm not going to pay for it.
Stream or whatever.
Yeah. So the
Watch Companion. That's streaming, and it's a very similar story.
The talk was that maybe Prime Video would pick it up to stream, but right now, or at least the other day, I could only find it to rent on either Prime or Apple TV.
You can
Plus
rent
or
it
whatever.
for free at your local library.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Free library. They do have movies and whatnot.
It looks like it's streaming on Prime Video now.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
So Bezos is making money off of it.
I'm sorry to interrupt our very important conversation, but it's 10 o'clock.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
It's okay, I have diarrhea.
It's time for a Preston and Steve 20 money keyword.
I don't even know what that was about.
God, I wish the word was diarrhea, but it's not. The word is pick, P-I-C-K. You have until 25 minutes after the hour to enter that via the MMR app or WMMR.com, or you could even text it to our special contest short code number, which is 45911. And one random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest. And each MMR winner gets a pair of MMRBQ tickets as well. Winners will get a call from Beasley, so make sure that you answer your phone. There are contest rules available at WMMR.com. Preston and Steve's 20 Money is sponsored by United Tire and Service. That word again is pick, P-I-C-K. Enter it right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Barlow Chevrolet in Delranis. It's what it says.
Really?
It's got to be Delran, right?
Delran is?
Delran is.
Delran space
There's
is?
no space.
But
All
is it IS?
Barlow Chevy, it must be in Delran is making
There you
insane deals on every new Chevy in stock. Barlow has the vehicle you need at unbeatable prices. Visit Barlow Chevy today. Together, let's drive. See, look at this right here, Casey.
Delranis.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Delranis.
All right. Let's see. Get your wagers ready because the first ever sperm race is about to go down in Los Angeles this Friday at the
I'm gonna have
Hollywood.
to tap out of that one, bro.
The Hollywood Palladium will play host to the first of its kind sperm racing event.
Shut up!
Founded by a team of young millionaires. Sperm racing will pit representatives from the University of Southern California and the University of California, Los Angeles. Using a microscope camera, the movements of the sperm will be tracked as they vie to be the first to cross the finish line. 3 races will be held during the event.
You'd have to name one Semen Biscuit.
And there'll be live commentary to keep things lively, as well as instant replay, leaderboards, and approved wagering partners. What's not clear is what source the sperm will be coming from at race time. Do not know. All right, a man who fell into quicksand while strolling along a beautiful beach with his best friend had his life changed by the terrifying incident. Pals Mitchell O'Brien and Brianne Sika were enjoying a relaxing day out on a recent spring weekend walking along Lake Michigan shoreline when all of a sudden O'Brien found himself being sucked several feet into the sand. All it took was one wrong step into a patch of soft sand, and within seconds, he was waist deep in the sand with water swirling around him.
Yeah.
He kicked his leg out sideways to stop him from falling further, only to realize that there would be no quick way out of the quagmire. Sika wanted to call for help immediately, but O'Brien insisted he could dig himself out. But after 15 minutes, he concluded he was not getting out, and soon noticed that the sand was coming back almost faster, he said, than I could get it out of the way. He said, for me, those moments were terrifying. She remembered, or actually for her, she said, remembered the sinking feeling of watching her best friend struggle to get out. They finally agreed that authorities needed to be called, so they did that. And in her panic, Sika referred to her longtime friend as her boyfriend during the call, and O'Brien called her his girlfriend. This was reportedly the first time the twosome had ever even mentioned having romantic feelings for one another.
Sweet.
All
And
it took was quicksand.
Sika said 2 years of being this guy, of this guy being my best friend and just trying to hide everything about how we felt, and he tried to die on me, and he becomes my boyfriend. Firefighters eventually arrived on the scene. They pulled O'Brien out of the dangerous mix of sand and muck, and it turns out the quicksand was the quickest way to turn a friendship into a relationship.
It's funny, though, if you get into things like that, whether it be soil. I mean, John Mulaney does a great bit about his fear of quicksand, but I just saw a video of a kid, Preston, he was walking along with his dad. He stepped into something that we would consider quicksand. It was just soft, squishy mud, but the kid couldn't get out. And the dad goes to pick him up, and you hear, and the shoes are still there. I mean, that's how much of a suction it creates.
Yeah, but how great is this? They ended up having a relationship together. All right, after saving up for 10 years to buy his dream car, a brand new Ferrari 458 Spider, a Japanese man had to sit and watch it burn within an hour of driving it for the first time. Japanese social media has been abuzz with the sad story of Hong Kong. The 33-year-old recently took to his social media to share the story.
All right, man, he had to tell his wife, settle in Hong Kong.
Of how he could only enjoy his dream Ferrari for a few minutes because it caught on fire while he was driving it.
Hong Kong.
Apparently, the 458 had only just been delivered to him, and he was out on a test drive with it when he noticed the white smoke. At first, he thought that it was coming from the car next to his, but as the vehicle pulled away, it became obvious the smoke was coming out of his Ferrari.
Whose car is this?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong then just pulled over, exited the vehicle, and called the fire department. He spent the next 20 minutes watching his dream car burn down completely. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department announced that there were no signs of collision, but an investigation is still underway. It's believed that the fire started in the car's engine, but the reason remains unknown at this point.
It was a very bad day.
Yep. All right. Kathy mentioned this one earlier this morning in the news, and I'm going to throw this in here. In Deptford, which is right next to
Delranis.
So all police vowed to protect and serve their community, but one local officer went above and beyond the duty. A Deptford police officer took on double duty as a delivery driver to make sure that a Chick-fil-A order made a safe delivery this weekend. The department says that Officer Mike McHenry Jr. took action when a DoorDash driver's vehicle broke down in the middle of a delivery. He quickly completed the delivery for the driver, and it was his pleasure to do it. He had responded by saying, nobody wants cold Chick-fil-A, especially the waffle fries, man. You don't want those things cold. Deptford residents praised the officer for his thoughtful gesture of offering a helping hand. So pretty cool little story about that guy. And that's where we'll wrap it up. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. A reminder, you have a few minutes left to enter the word PICK for the Preston and Steve 20 Money giveaway. So that word, P-I-C-K, PICK, can be entered through the MMR app at WMMR.com, or you can text it to our special contest short code number, which is 45911, but you need to go ahead and do that right now. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. Lesson question, trash, music news, those things are up next.
Family, we are so proud of him. I would love to see him try a case, even if it's not that serious. But
I could see, though, you get thrown off your game. I mean, something much less is when you're a performer. When I would do stand-up comedy, my dad saw me a couple times, but when friends or people are come down, it throws you off your game a bit. And if someone's life is hanging in the balance, I could see where you don't want to take the risk.
I'm going to go to, we're talking about parents embarrassing you. This sounds good. I'm going to go to Debbie. Hey there, Debbie. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Debbie?
Hi.
Hi.
So this is an area that maybe Casey is familiar with. I was a Fatima girl.
Okay. Yeah, where were you, Glen Olden?
Briarcliff.
Briarcliff, there you go.
None of us have any idea what it means.
Do you live on Rivalry Avenue over there? Or?
So anyway, back when young teenagers, around 14, my dad was a township commissioner, and every once in a while, he worked with the police closely, and he would every once in a while drive around with the cops in the neighborhood just to check out things. And at 14, we were walking around the neighborhood just hanging out, and there was probably about 20-25 of us, and the cop car kind of pulled up alongside of us. And you know how the cops have the loudspeaker bullhorn?
Yeah, they have a PA. Yeah.
So the cop announced with all these kids, "Is Debbie here in the crowd?" And I almost died because everyone turned around and looked at me. And then he said, "Debbie, your dad's here in the car. Come over and say hi." And everyone lost it.
Oh, I love it. Is Debbie here? We're looking for, she's on a prostitution charge.
I almost died because everyone turned around and just started laughing, and I was just like, oh, I was so embarrassed. And then I was mad. I was like, oh, my God, how could you do this to me?
It's hilarious.
A teenage
It's
girl
hilarious.
and be embarrassed in front of friends. I'll bet you were really pissed off.
Oh, my God. I was mad, yeah, because later when my dad came home and I wasn't even, talking to him, and he was like, what are you mad at? I'm like, Dad, that was so embarrassing. He's like, I was just saying hi. I'm like, no.
That's so great.
Discreet.
It's cute. Yeah.
All right, Debbie,
Yeah.
thank you. I
Debbie,
love
by
that
the
story.
way, I have two Briarcliff stories. One, I was in love with a Briarcliff girl in high school, and she wouldn't give me the time of day. Look at what you missed out on, baby. Secondly, I broke my wrist in Briarcliff as well when I was in college.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Maybe you and your parents can all get together and you can chat
This
about it.
morning, a revelation on the Preston and Steve show is Casey revealed he broke his wrist.
It was a bad one, too, man.
He says it was a bad one.
I'm going to go to Brian for another call, and we'll stay on topic here. Hey, Brian, good morning.
Good morning, it.
Good morning, it. What's up, my man?
So when I was about 15 years old, like the once a month where Dad wasn't working 90 hours that week, he would drop you off at school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 15. He would roll down the window and yell, "Hey, Bri, you forgot to give me a kiss goodbye."
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, and would you just turn around and flip him off, or what would you do?
I would like awkwardly laugh and then walk away. And
Yeah.
then I get home that day from school and he's sitting there laughing his ass off still about it. And I'm like, I'm going to get you back one of these days. Now, at 32 years old, I dropped him off at the gym the other day, and I yelled out, "Dad, you forgot to give me a kiss."
Oh, that's excellent.
Awesome.
Well done, Brian.
Thank you.
Well done. Thanks, man.
Our friend Meredith just texted me. She said, I was out with my dad once, and he would say to people in front of me, "She knows Preston and Steve and Joe Conklin."
Oh, that's great.
funny.
All right, Craig Lagans is on the line. Yo, Craig, good morning.
What up, white folks?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. One of the things my mother loved to do was she would come to the bookstore where I worked, and not only because she loved books, but she was also there to remind the other customers, if they liked me, that she was the one that got me the job.
She was boasting about getting you the job at the bookstore.
Yes, I was engaged with one customer because we both liked the same books. And she goes, "Yeah, isn't this great?" "Well, yeah, this is my son." And, I saw him sitting on his ass watching TV for nothing but hours and hours. So I said, "You need to get a job." So the customer service, that's because of me.
That's great.
Oh.
That's awesome.
That's funny. All right, thanks, Craig. Have a good weekend, man. We'll see you.
Thank you.
All right. There was a call up here earlier, and they're not on anymore, but they say that their mom would embarrass them regularly when they would go out to eat, and would talk to the server and tell him, "Oh, he's such a picky eater. He won't," and going on and on about that, like every single time that they would go out to eat.
Yeah.
And that's just mom's indirect way of nagging at him to try to eat.
That's a Beverly
something
Goldberg, from the series. That's exactly how she's depicted.
Let me go to Keith. Hey, Keith. Good morning.
Good morning, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, buddy. What's up?
A few years back, I had run out of some allergy medication, and my father was on the same prescription, so I asked him if I could borrow a few.
Oh, no.
He obliged and gave me the medication, and I went to work, threw one in my mouth as always, and about 2 hours into my shift, I realized I had a bit of a sinus headache, and I kind of felt lightheaded. And then I called my dad, and I asked him what kind of medicine he gave me, because I told him I wasn't feeling too well, and he just started dying laughing on the phone. That's when he told me that, unbeknownst to me, he gave me some of his new Cialis. And
Oh, my God.
He gave you Cialis.
He gave me Cialis. So I went to work, and for pretty much the duration of the afternoon, I had to sit at my desk and ask people to get stuff off the top.
Because you had a boner.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and he laughed about that and brought it up.
Talk about a unique way to embarrass your child.
I'm going to give him a boner at work.
That's a little indirect, but wow. Okay.
And for years afterwards, he would still bring up the story and remind people who, in case they had not heard the story.
Oh, so he would tell people this story. Okay.
Oh, this was one of his crowning achievements. I think.
Right.
Giving you ED pills.
God.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
have a massive erection.
Nice, Keith. Thanks for sharing. We appreciate it. All right, one more, and then we got to take a break. I'm going to go to Kevin. Hey, Kevin, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Dear God.
By the way, that is a ringtone now.
Yep.
People were asking about that.
Yes.
And there's a few other things if you'd
You can
like
get
it.
the Yoo-Hoo tune and a few other things. What's going on, Kevin?
I'm like, how are you guys?
Good. All right, what's your story, bud?
So my father used to come down when I was a child, or when I had my friends over, and he used to poop with the door open while smoking a cigarette.
With the door open while smoking a cigarette while other kids are there.
Yes.
You get arrested for that nowadays.
Yeah, you're exposing yourself.
Wow.
Yes.
He just didn't
Nobody
care.
cared back then. But
Yeah.
And apparently he didn't care either.
You know what? My friend's dad used to do that too.
Just door open?
Door open.
Smoking
a cigarette. Kid
door
you
wide
not.
open.
Bubba Martin was his name.
Even if my friends weren't there, but.
Dude,
Really
Kevin, like I also think a lot of guys who went through the military, I'm going right here. You get used to it, in front of other people.
Wow. Did you ever tell him to stop doing that, Kevin?
Oh yeah, he didn't care.
He didn't care.
I've got to poop.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm going to play that audio one more time, Casey. We got this whole conversation started. A TV reporter was setting up for a shoot. It wasn't live on the air, but the camera was rolling. And as he's there, his mom drives by, and they catch it.
Is it because of This is my mom. Hold on. I'm trying to work right now. You over there calling my phone. This is D'Angelo. You can say hi. And don't be holding up traffic because you got cars behind you.
I love her. I love her so much.
Oh, my gosh.
So proud.
Yep. All right, well, listen, we're going to take a break. We got some guests joining us. We're going to have Moses Storm, who's going to be at the Helium Comedy Club this weekend, and Mina Starziak from the show Good Bones will be on because she's going to be at the Philadelphia home garden show that's going on. Do we have some tickets I can give away
Actually,
real quick?
yeah. They have the winner sheet over there.
Yeah, we'll take callers 5 and 6 at 215-263 WMMR, and you will get to go to the home and garden show. And you can save on tickets at phillyhomeandgarden.com. It is at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks. We'll be back in a moment. I think I'm going to whip out This Way. Yep. Well, they saw that movie. They needed that to include that somewhere in a song, and they put it in that. 17 minutes after 10 o'clock, the Preston and Steve Show. Beautiful day today, 77 degrees and sunshine. I'll take them every day like this. Just fantastic.
God, yeah.
We have 81 tomorrow. Possibly, and 81 on Friday as well. And then Saturday, chance that we might get some thunderstorms. But as Steve said earlier this morning, that's a few days away. Could change between now and then.
Never know.
Maybe a little passing shower and still might be great. We'll have to see about that. We are going to give something away right about now. We have our lesson question. Go ahead now. Do this. Text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. We will send you the link for today, and maybe you know the answer to this question, but I want you ahead of time to know that because we do the trash, and it's a little short window to get somebody on. Sometimes we can, sometimes we can't. They're working on phone lines. We're supposed to get the components by tomorrow for the new phone. I don't know how long it'll take to set up after that, but we'll see if and when. But the Zoom thing's going to be here to stay.
Oh, absolutely.
But not for everything.
No.
But right now, we're going to use that for the lesson question. And we're going to give away as a prize 4 pack of tickets to join Casey Boy to see an advanced screening of Thunderbolts. That is on April 30th at 7 p.m. at the Regal in King of Prussia. And here's the question I have for you. Archbishop Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, Africa, also sells what make of cars? This was just a little while ago.
Yeah.
That was around 10 o'clock.
Who knew?
So let's see if you know the answer to this. Archbishop Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, Africa, also sells what make of cars? If you know that answer, then yes, you text the word Zoom to 610-660-9333. Click on the link that we send you, and we'll see if you can get on and answer the question. In the meantime, trash.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, let's get the info. Steve, what's going on this morning?
Well, this is true. A new supermarket in the Netherlands catching heat for a design involving train tracks that makes it resemble the Nazi concentration camp Auschwitz. While the owners are saying it's a coincidence, they're finding it harder to explain their slogan, "We're rounding up and exterminating high prices."
Wow. Oh my God.
Disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein, briefly leaving Rikers Island to receive treatment for his deteriorating health at Bellevue Hospital. Weinstein is candidly admitting that the only exercise he ever got was committing lots of rapes. He just doesn't get it. And finally, Lil Uzi Vert was rushed to the hospital on Monday after falling ill. The rapper was reportedly admitted under his real name, Gummy Poopy Squad.
All righty. I don't know. We got anybody? Or do I need? Yeah, we do. Oh, we have somebody coming up. All right. I killed enough time to make it happen. And we will see if you do indeed know the answer to today's lesson question. We try to find something from earlier in the program that you might be able to answer that you would had to have heard only while listening to the show. And so, therefore, we now go to Andrew, who's joining us live via Zoom. Good morning, Andrew. Hi, Andrew. Hey, all right, there we got you, buddy. All right, so, Andrew, Archbishop.
Hey, good morning. You got
Archbishop Cardinal Peter Turkson, bud, of Ghana, Africa, also sells what make of cars, please?
Jeep Wrangler.
He said Jeep Wrangler.
Uh-huh.
No, that is incorrect. So Steve did say Wrangler, and
yes.
Wrangler is a model of Jeep, but I'm looking for make of cars. So I got to say no on that, Andrew. but
Damn
thank
it.
you. Yes.
Damn it.
All right, we'll do the trash, and then
Preston and Steve's
music news. I mean,
on 93.3 WMMR.
and then we'll see if we can get another winner. All right, so Ghost has released a new single. It's called Peace Field, and it's from their upcoming album Skeletta, and it's set to be released on Friday. This track, the third preview from the album following Sanitized and Lacrima, I think is how you pronounce that, embraces a strong 80s vibe, and I have not heard this yet, a strong 80s rock vibe, but many fans are comparing it to a Journey song. That it has that tone, that flavor to
There
it.
is a sample in the prep. I didn't grab it, but yeah. If we can grab that, Marissa, at some point. I'd be curious to hear that.
Peace Field was performed live for the first time during Ghost's recent UK.
Just a peacefield girl living in a lonely world.
The recent UK Skeletor. That's the name of his tour, by the way. Skeletor. Do I
How do
want
you
to
spell Peacefield? Okay.
PEACEFIELD.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I don't think the whole thing's been released.
Okay.
No, it says has released a new single. So, but anyway, for a moment, let's go over and talk to Brandon. You guys cool with that?
Yes.
All right. Hey, Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
Where are you, man?
All right, I'm good, man. All right, so we need to know. Archbishop Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, Africa, also sells what make of cars?
Rolls Royce.
See, that's a guess. We don't do guesses on the lesson question. Sorry, bud. Gotta let you go. All right, next story. Daryl Hall has added new shows to his 2025 tour with a run of performances that now bring the trek into November. The tour began back in March with a leg that ran through parts of the South and the Midwest, and he's got a few shows lined up in the UK in May and a run of shows set for the East Coast as well. So a couple of them in our area. On July 9th, he'll be in Bethlehem at the Wind Creek Event Center. And on July 25th, he'll be in Atlantic City at Ovation Hall. Those tickets will go on sale to the general public this Friday.
I wonder, the band he's playing with is probably the band that is on his series, right? I mean,
Daryl's House.
it's Daryl's House. I would assume that's who he tours with.
Not really sure.
A lot of them are either the Hall & Oates supporting band.
Yeah. All right, this is for me and Chuck. On June 6th, Triumph will be honored with a tribute album titled Magic Power All-Star Tribute to Triumph via Round Hill Records, and it features Dorothy, Sebastian Bach, Nancy Wilson, Joey Belladonna, Slash, and Jeff Keith covering Triumph songs, and a few other people as well. Mickey Thomas will be singing one of them.
Oh, nice. He's got the range.
Jack Blades, as I said, Jeff Keith from Tesla, Dean Castronovo, Dee Snider as well. And also joining the 15-track album includes drummers Kenny Aronoff and Tommy Aldridge, and guitarist Bumblefoot, Paul Gilbert, and Nita Strauss. And the project was conceived by producer Mike Klink, who has produced classic recordings for Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, and Whitesnake as well. Magic Power will be released on CD with a 12-page booklet and as a double LP gatefold edition. Sebastian Bach said, "The music of Triumph will always hold a special place in my heart, and I'm super proud to pay tribute to one of my favorite bands of all time, the rock and roll machine known as Triumph." Oh, and I forgot to mention Envy of None, which features Alex Lifeson of Rush, are also going to be doing one of the songs too, which is really cool. Fellow Canadian.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right, we'll go to another Zoomer and see if we can get this answer we've been dying to get. It's Timothy who's checking in. What's up, Tim? How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good, buddy. All right, so Archbishop Cardinal Peter Turkson of Ghana, Africa, also sells what make of cars?
Ford Ranger.
Ford! That is correct. All right, buddy. Hang on. We'll get you info. And we are going to give you a 4-pack of tickets to join Casey Boyd to see the advanced screening of Thunderbolts April 30th at 7 p.m. The Regal in King of Prussia. It's brought to you by Marvel Studios Thunderbolts, and they're not super, they're not heroes, they're not giving up. Only in theaters on May 2nd. You can get tickets now. A couple other quick things. We played it for a couple of days now, but Hailstorm has unveiled their first new song of 2025, Darkness Always Wins. We played it earlier this morning. Signaling a darker, more introspective direction for the band. Produced by Dave Cobb, Darkness Always Wins is expected to be the lead single from their upcoming album, though specific details about the release remain under wraps. The band is also gearing up for a busy touring schedule in 2025, including European dates supporting Iron Maiden, participating in the Ozzy and Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning tribute, and a U.S. tour with Volbeat, and that tour will be at Freedom Mortgage Pavilion on August 9th, by the way. And then one last thing, Chuck wanted me to mention this. 11th annual ATCO Battles Alzheimer's event is happening this Sunday, the 27th. It'll be at Paradise Lakes in Hamilton, New Jersey. And it's from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Live music all day from 7 bands, the Giuliano Brothers, Sunset Strip, Hickstown Road, 99 Reasons, Cat 5, Stealing Savannah, and The Blitz. Games, music, food, amazing auction items, and more benefits those affected by Alzheimer's. And tickets are just $25. You can get the information at atcobattlesalz.com. That'll wrap up music news.
Nice.
We'll come back in a moment. Letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize, and we'll see what Ray Coob has in store for you, too. Stay put. We'll be right back. I didn't have it yesterday, yeah. And I think I'm going to smoke a bowl right here in the studio.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do. No, it's the historian. And yesterday I didn't realize I was doing a historical story until part of the way through, and I didn't have my pipe ready.
So, but okay, I like that.
But this is...
But we're not going to mandate the pipe since you kind of came in through the other door.
This is true.
All right.
But, so this is an interesting look at the historian, by the way.
So this is a look at the historian?
No. This is an interesting take on this segment, I should
I'm sorry,
say.
I didn't go to college.
Yes, you did.
So, we live in a day and age where at least every week we'll see word of a new social media challenge. TikTok is rife with challenges. And one of the classic ones I think was maybe more originated on Twitter or somewhere else, but like the Tide Pod challenge.
The cinnamon
thing, yeah, where you try and
absolutely
keep that in your mouth. And we always comment on how stupid these are, and some of them we don't even acknowledge because they're so dumb. I mean, there's something go back a few years ago, like planking. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Or the Harlem Shake.
But this time,
like that.
In this time we're at currently, because of all the social media that's available, specifically TikTok, there seems to be one every couple days.
There does. But the historian is here to tell you that throughout the history of mankind, we have been doing stupid challenges as a race. All right, as the human race, we have been taking on stupid challenges and fads. I'm going to cover some fads as well in this, okay? So
is this going to be on the test?
It may be on the test. I would pay attention. I would take notes if I were you. So we'll begin with some that you've probably heard of before, like the Goldfish Challenge.
That's a classic. Whenever from the 50s, I think of the Goldfish Challenge.
Talking about swallowing a goldfish?
Right, swallowing a goldfish.
Yes.
Oh.
You ever know anybody that swallowed a goldfish?
I do.
Me too. Yeah. You actually swallowed one?
Yeah. It was not a proud moment, but
Was
it
it
was
a college?
College moment.
Okay.
And I was one of 2 people in the room who did it. And it was we bought those goldfish specifically to do the Goldfish Challenge.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, the goldfish trend actually they know exactly who started it. It started at Harvard University at college in 1939 when freshman Lothrop Withington.
Lothrop?
Yes.
Lothrop, what are you doing with that fish?
Fluffy.
Oh, this is ridiculous. I hope you don't do that to the dog.
He bragged to his friends that he once swallowed a live fish.
Lothrop?
His friends put together $10 and they bet him that he couldn't do it again. Lothrop chewed up a goldfish.
He chewed it.
Won $10 and became a legend after doing that. And swallowing goldfish spread and became competitive, with students eating more and more fish to win pre-internet viral fame.
Chewing a goldfish, I did not know that was the original
Yeah,
way
are you
it was
supposed to
done.
swallow it
I
whole?
always heard you just pop it down.
I think it eventually turned into that.
All right.
Yes.
I had a friend who could swallow things whole and then
Regurgitate?
bring them back up. He
Wow.
would do
Yeah.
like lit cigarettes. He would do goldfish, like anything. It
There's
was like
people that can do that.
There's
a guy. There's the guy whose whole act.
Yeah, it was. I think was he Australian?
I think he's Australian.
David Blaine does it too.
And he did it all over.
He would do like this. You go.
Yeah, he would go.
That sound.
He would go. And he would. Did you ever see that?
So weird.
I feel like I have.
He would take like a miniature Rubik's cube.
Yeah.
It's completely solved. Throw it in his stomach and then mix it up.
He did light bulbs and stuff.
And then
too.
he would
Light
kick it back
bulbs.
up.
He would mix it up.
Yeah. He had incredible control of his stomach.
Did we have him in studio, or am I misremembering?
No, we did not.
No, I don't.
I absolutely would have.
This guy was big in like.
He was on Letterman a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was in there,
So anyhow, the swallowing goldfish spread, and the hopefully never to be broken record belongs to Clark University's Joseph Diliberado. He ate 89 fish in one sitting. The trend is not practiced widely these days, but it never fully died. You can check out YouTube for evidence.
You know, it's
on
funny.
that.
Like I'm recoiling, and I'm like, I must have eaten 60 pounds of salmon in the.
Yeah, I know.
We eat fish as human beings. All right, another fad or a challenge.
Can I guess one of that time?
Sure.
Historian?
Yeah.
Piling in a phone booth?
Well, yes. You want me to get to that one?
Oh, that's
okay.
Because that to me, when I think of the goldfish, I think of that around the same time as the phone booth challenge.
So that was in the 1930s, and then the phone booth cramming, as they called it. Let's see, involved, of course, as many people as you could fit into a phone booth. 1959 was the high water mark of the trend, with college students from the UK, the United States, Rhodesia, and other countries trying their hand at squashing into call boxes. MIT managed to smash 19 nerds in a phone booth.
Do you guys remember seeing pictures of this?
UCLA got as high as 17, but the ultimate phone booth stuffing record was set in 1959 when 25 people in South Africa crammed themselves into one box.
How is that possible?
They would literally position themselves and you know, what do you call it, contortionists,
Yes.
I guess, you know?
Listen, you talk about Mike Jarek earlier talking about being claustrophobic. Could you imagine being that in there?
No, that could be serious. Somebody could die.
So a standard phone booth, which we're looking at a picture of a standard phone booth that I remember from the time. Are other countries at that time, did they have bigger phone booths, or was they a set standard?
The UK's seemed bigger.
The call boxes,
I've been to
right?
the call boxes,
Yeah.
so I don't really know. But this took place in South Africa. Canadian students reportedly crammed 40 kids in a box, but it turned out that they were cheating by using an extra large phone booth. So, Steve, I guess sometimes they would
liars
keep an eye on what that was. So, yes, Steve, you got that one right. All right, so another one that goes back as a stupid challenge from the past, not just viral, but this is back in the day. Pole sitting.
Yes.
Popularized in the 1920s by sailor, attention whore, Alvin Shipwreck Kelly.
Attention whore.
The pole sitting challenge, a.k.a. flag pole sitting, which I think is what that song is named after,
Yes.
flag pole sitter, involved staying on a small platform atop a pole for as long as possible.
It's another David Blaine thing.
This little blip on the pop culture radar went viral and then shrunk to obscurity by the 1920s. It is periodically popping back up, though, like David Blaine or the Harvey Danger song. The longest pole sit ever took place from 1982 to 1984.
Oh, my God.
Long past pole sitting's golden age when H. David Werder spent 439 days on a post in Clearwater, Florida.
How do you even pull that off?
Werder's world record is a little suspect, though. He lived in a capsule on the top of a pole that seemed to have straddled the line between platform and small room. So it was kind of a, you know, instead of being exposed to the elements that whole time.
We did our own sort of contribution to this. We had our intern at the time, Joe, sit on a toilet.
Yes.
It was in a...
It was a punishment.
Yeah.
It was in a cherry picker.
And it was, where were you off? We were off
It was right by 95 in the Blue Route.
Yeah, there's Pisano concrete.
There you go. Because we knew it would be a high visibility area.
Right.
And we'd put Joe up there for 24 hours sitting on that thing. His legs got numb. Oh, man. It's poor Joe. We did some stupid
He
things.
should, by all rights, he should hate the hell
He should
out of
hate
us.
us.
Yeah.
But anyhow, yeah, that was our version of it. We had people go by and honk their horn.
Yeah.
And it drove them
It was
crazy.
actually good weather, though, I remember.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
So it was okay.
Yeah, so it was fine.
So it's fine, yeah.
Other stupid challenges, and you guys all know this, but streaking. And streaking is not necessarily, it still is done today, but it was in the 1970s. People were doing it all the time.
There was a song by Ray Stevens, was it The Streak, right?
The Streak, yeah. So interrupting something by running around naked was a huge thing in the inexplicable 1970s. But
vulnerable.
Streaking has a surprisingly long history before then. You can go back to Lady Godiva, who supposedly rode naked through Coventry in the 11th century. In America, our ultimate streaker was George William Crump, or the first streaker, I should say. He was suspended from Washington and Lee University for streaking incident in 1804. He went on to become a congressman, by the way. The trend caught on in a mass way in the 1960s, and by the mid-1970s was inspiring novelty songs, dinner table arguments, and mass streaking runs. The fad's high watermark was the 1974 Academy Awards ceremony.
Yes.
Where the presentation for the Best Picture Award was interrupted by a nude hippie running out of the wings, flashing a peace sign, and then dashing off stage.
I think it was in front of David Niven, was it not?
It was, yes. He was, I guess, either the host or he was presenting the award.
And he
at
had a
that
good
time.
comeback. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was. You remember what he said?
I guess we can see his shortcomings.
Nice. The streaker, gallery owner, and pioneering gay rights activist Robert Opel said that he posed as a journalist to get backstage, but many think the stunt was planned since Opel wasn't arrested or was doing press interviews right after the ceremony.
Yeah. I mean, with all the security, but it was kind of wild. So at that time, I also remember, and it wasn't a trend that other people were doing or a viral sort of thing, pre-viral, but Morgana, remember her? She would run out onto...
The big boob lady?
Yes, yeah. And she would kiss athletes on the field.
She would go to kiss.
Yeah.
And, but there weren't, like, a lot of people doing that.
No, she was the only one.
She did her own thing. However, here's another one for you, and this is a weird little, more of a fad, really. Intentionally infecting yourself with parasites to lose weight was a trend that began in the early 1900s. And people would swallow a pill said to contain tapeworm eggs so the worms could live in their guts and steal their food. It doesn't seem to have been all that widespread, and there's doubt that the pills advertised in the Victorian age periodicals. It is 10:37. It's a Wednesday morning, and all its Wednesday morning glory as we are coming to a close here today. It's been an eventful day, a very fun one. There was something I wanted to mention on the way out, and I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me. It will come to me. But today was indeed fun. We had a really good time. And I want to thank the most fun part of the day, Will Forte, for being on the show this morning. And we gave him a call. Nick reached out to him because this interview he did on Hot Ones where he revealed that he pretended to kill himself in front of his mother, or, he left a suicide note and all this stuff. And he admitted it was a horrible, horrible prank.
Right.
Led to a conversation on the air. So Nick reached out to him and just asked if he wanted to come on. He's like, absolutely. So we talked about all kinds of stuff, including the Coyote versus Acme movie, which may be coming out next year, but maybe before the end of the year. We'll have to see. And we talked about a bunch of stuff. He was great, man. Talking about the 50 years of SNL and Val Kilmer. And
4 seasons on May 1 on Netflix. Wanted to remind people of that.
Yeah, I will definitely watch that. So that was nice. And then came Ray Koo. Yay!
Good morning, everybody.
Wandering in our studio. Nice to see you again, sir.
Good to see you. Good to everyone all together. And the extended crew, man. I'm learning the new faces.
Yes.
Will Forte. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for everyone who was getting in their car a few minutes after 6 this morning and making their way where they were going. It was riveting. I couldn't get out. If I had to, I wouldn't have been able to get out of the car. It was great. And he just kind of stepped into it like kind of dreamy, the first couple minutes. I was like, maybe it is Eddie Vedder. I don't know.
Then he had his coffee and he got rolling. We had a great conversation.
Fantastic.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Covered so much, and the scoop on the movie being out maybe this year.
Yeah, it'd be very cool if it is. He's very excited about it. Very proud of it.
All right, sir, you're the keeper of our letter. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by The Letter. You. All right.
We need a vowel sooner or later.
We do. And we have $500 to give away for Nebraska Brazilian Steakhouse. They are in Philly and Horsham, and they've got you covered for your birthday. You can get the most delicious birthday feast that Nebraska has to offer, which includes 15 cuts of meat, fish, grilled pineapple, and gourmet sides. You can reserve your table today at Nebraska.com. So one more day of Ray Koob before Pierre gets back. Well,
no, he's not
Sarah
back. Sarah's
back.
coming in for a couple days.
Okay.
So she'll be here giving the letter the next couple days.
All right.
And doing all the stuff, the workforce blocks. And also, we've got those passes for the invite-only Wolfgang Van Halen show. So, I'm pretty excited about giving away another pair of those, as well as another shot at the P&S 20 cash at noon. A lot of good stuff in the workforce box, of course, always.
Lots coming up with the amazing Ray Koob, so make sure you stick with him, gang. I want to thank our sponsors. The Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Duncan. Preston and Steve Show runs on Duncan. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. And by Pella Windows and Doors. Visit PellaPhilly.com to schedule an appointment today. Tomorrow, let me see who we have here. Tomorrow we have comedian Casey Rocket in our studio. Actor John Ortiz, we were just talking about Bad Monkey.
Yes.
He plays Vince Vaughn's partner in that show. Yep. He's great, and he's on to talk about a movie tomorrow, and we'll get into some other things as well. So that's it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.